ఆన్ చేసా ఇది ఆఫ్ చేసా
Dear participants, welcome to evening session of 5-day interdisciplinary online FDP. Now, in this session, we have two resource persons. One is Dr. K. Sujata, who is from Department of Mathematics, and Dr. P. Sarada, who is from Department of Chemistry. Both are from St. Joseph College for Women Autonomous, Visakhapatnam. Now, I request the program co-convener and Department of Mathematics in charge, Dr. Mudda Ramesh Garu, to introduce both. Thank you. Ramesh sir.
Thank you, Sudhir Garu. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I welcome all the participants to this afternoon session of FDP. And we have Dr. Captain K. Sujata and Dr. P. Sarada from St. Joseph's College for Women, Autonomous, Visakhapatnam as resource persons to the first part of this session. I am happy to have the opportunity of introducing Dr. K. Sujata. She is professor and head of the Department of Mathematics. She has 25 years of teaching experience. She was awarded PhD from Geetham University. She published 56 research papers in reputed journals and presented 52 papers in national and international seminars and conferences. It is highly remarkable that she presented a paper at Harvard University, USA in 2016. Her research area is fixed point theory in nonlinear analysis. She authored a textbook for UG students regarding analytical skills. She completed one minor research project funded by UGC. She has been serving as NCC officer for 23 years and received Best NCC Officer Award for 3 times. She is recipient of Best Teacher Award in 2022 by the Government of Andhra Pradesh. She also received an appreciation from Dr. Paula Bhaskar IAS Garu for her services as master trainer and content developer. She bagged other awards of excellence like Bharat Ke Anmol Ratna in 2019, Adarsh Vidya Rashtriya Puraskar in 2020, ILDC AMP Women Excellence Award in 2020, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Lifetime Achievement Award, and Indo-Asian 2P Outstanding Award. And then introduced Dr. P. Sarada is a selection grade lecturer in chemistry, St. Joseph's College for Women, Autonomous Visakhapatnam. She is a passionate teacher with more than 26 years of teaching experience in chemistry. She is research student of late Professor A.S.R. Anjanil Garu of Andhra University. She completed one UGC funded minor research project on groundwater quality. She is APSI trained Q leader for assessment and accreditation. She worked as IQAC coordinator for 6 years. Presently, she acts as IQAC member. She is college level NIRF nodal officers for 3 years. She was NSS program officers for 5 years. Her fields of interest are chemistry teaching and quality promotion. Lastly, I firmly believe that they are giving to enlighten all the participants with their presentation on topic essential measures for the effective accreditation, the HEI context. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. M. Ramesh Garu. Now I request Sujata Madam. We are all waiting for your resource talk, Madam. Please continue.
Okay, sir. Sir, then. Shall I-
Madam, excuse me, Madam.
Yes, yes. 1 minute.
Sarada Madam to mute her device, Madam. స్పీకర్ ఆఫ్ చేయమనండి మేడం గారు. శారదా మేడం గారి మొబైల్ స్పీకర్ ఆఫ్ చేస్తే సరిపోతుంది. అదే రకంగా మీ మొబైల్ స్పీకర్ మీ డివైస్ స్పీకర్ కూడా ఆపండి మేడం. సో ఆ ప్రాబ్లం రెక్టిఫై అయిపోతుంది మేడం గారు. Still we are facing some audio problem. ఎవరు నాది
మ్యూట్ చేసి ఓకే సార్.
మేడం మేడం మీరు
శారదా మేడం లీవ్ చేశారు మీటింగ్, మళ్ళీ జాయిన్ అవుతారు సార్. ఓకే సార్, నౌ ఈజ్ ఇట్ ఆడిబుల్ సార్? Am I audible, sir?
Madam, fine.
Fine. Okay.
Fine, madam.
Okay, sir.
You can share
Yes,
with
sir.
No issue. Right.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, one and all. Thank you so much for the nice and wonderful introduction about us. First of all, on behalf of St. Joseph's College, we congratulate all the FDP team for organizing 5-day interdisciplinary online faculty development program on institutional initiatives for effective assessment and accreditation in the context of NEP 2020, in collaboration with Commissionerate of Collegiate Education, Andhra Pradesh. Myself, Dr. Captain K. Sujata and Dr. P. Sarada, we deliver a lecture on essential measures for effective accreditation, the higher education institution context. First, Dr. P. Sarada will start the session. Then last I will conclude the session with some remarks. Thank you, sir. Over to Dr. P. Sarada.
Sarada madam. Kindly unmute, madam. Kindly unmute your device.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam. Good afternoon. Madam, please on your video, madam.
Okay.
Right. Now fine.
Thank you, sir. So I'm Dr. Shah. So I would like to share my screen. Hello, share screen. నేను ట్యాబ్ షేర్ చేయండి షేర్ స్క్రీన్ Sorry, sir, for the inconvenience. I'm just finding
Madam, your voice is audible, madam.
Yes, sir. Sir, 1 minute, sir.
Fine. Dear participants. Okay. Sarada madam is sharing her PPT. Sarada madam, now it is okay, madam. You can share the slides.
Okay. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, madam. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir. Sorry very much. Sorry, sir, for the delay in starting. There was little difficulty in sharing a document from the drive. I'm not so well versed, so it got delayed. Anyway, so I will go right into the topic: essential measures for effective accreditation in the context of higher education. That's what we wish to speak about. Essential measures. All measures are essential, but we would like to focus on the measures which we are already doing or doing to a little extent, and which would definitely produce a positive result. So essential measures for effective accreditation is the title of our topic. And yes, then the purpose of this FDP, sir, did the slide change for you? Purpose of the FDP is to identify and propagate institutional initiatives for effective assessment and accreditation. So the catchword is this particular FDP is for to identify and also propagate institutional initiatives for effective assessment and accreditation in the context of NEP 2020 implementation in our state. Okay, so the purpose of our talk is highlight essential institutional measures for effective assessment and accreditation. We will focus on very few measures, but we will try to highlight those measures to the extent possible such that it will be useful for the audience. So highlight essential institutional measures, what we need to take from the side of the institution for effective assessment and accreditation. That is the context. Context is NEP 2020 implementation in higher educational institutions across AP. So we know that from this 23-24 onwards, the National Education Policy 2020 is being implemented fully in the higher education institutions. And we know very well that NEP 2020 came after 37 long years. We had the earlier NEP in 1986. We have been following the same thing all these years. Suddenly there is a change, so there is a change of context. In the change of the context, what are the essential institutional measures? So the context is NEP implementation. And the goal is to identify the means. The goal is effective assessment and accreditation. The means are the institutional measures, and the context is implementation of NEP 2020. Okay, the scope of my talk. The scope of my talk is assessment and accreditation. By that word, I mean only NAAC assessment and accreditation. So assessment and accreditation, whenever we use that, it is only pertaining to NAAC. And also, it pertains only to the present manual, the one that is being followed right now. Of course, as Professor Matthew sir was saying, it might change from January 2024, but presently this is the manual being followed. So according to the present current manual, what measures we need to take? So we will stick only to the present manual. And by effective, by the word effective, we mean to say that which will produce a positive result. That means disqualify what effective measures we can take. So effective means which will produce a positive result. I don't refer to the grade. It's just a positive result. And higher education institution context means I will refer only to UG PG colleges, not universities. Of course, universities are also higher education institutions, but I'm not so competent enough to speak about universities. I have very limited knowledge. So I will refer only to the higher education context means UG PG college. And essential measures, by essential measures, I don't refer to how to change the curriculum or how to include so many other courses or flexibility, things like that. By essential measures, I mean outside academic curriculum, what compulsory compliance from the institution is needed so as to produce the positive result. Okay. Then the goal is effective assessment and accreditation. Why do we have this goal? Why is it the goal of this FDP also? Why are they trying to identify some measures? So the goal is effective assessment and accreditation. The question is why? Now, NAAC assessment and accreditation is mandatory. There's no option in that. UGC, we have a UGC decree mandating assessment and accreditation. And also we have a government of AP dictum, yesterday Dr. Matthews was also referring to. And according to that dictum, by 2026, all colleges need to be accredited and they need to have a grade. Unless otherwise, they will not be permitted to start new courses, or in fact, they may not be allowed to run the college also. So to the purpose, the first answer to why is because it is mandatory. And why it is mandatory, for why NAAC is making it mandatory, it is because quality is the defining element of higher education in India. So they want to make quality the defining element of higher education in India. How? NAAC wants to make quality the defining element. How? It is through self and external quality evaluation, quality promotion, and sustenance initiatives. So self-evaluation, external evaluation of quality, and sustenance initiatives, they want to make quality the defining element, and the whole assessment and assessment procedure is objective and transparent. And NAAC assessment and accreditation is a catalyst for institutional self-improvement. So they want to make it as a catalyst. You know, it is also a catalyst, we know very well, doesn't get consumed in a reaction, but it will see that the reaction occurs fast or the reaction occurs with lesser energy. So lesser energy barriers, easy to get the product, get more product. These are all the advantages of having a catalyst in a reaction. So NAAC assessment and accreditation is a catalyst for institutional self-improvement. It doesn't mean that somebody is going to come and help us to improve our institution. By going to this assessment and accreditation, we can improve ourselves because the whole process is a catalyst in itself. Then the context, as we have been discussing, context is NEP 2020 after NEP 1986. The 5 cardinal principles or core values of National Education Policy 2020: equity, access, quality, affordability, and accountability. Equity, access, and quality have been the core values of UGC since a very, very long time. But with the introduction of National Education Policy 2020, 2 more values have been added. That is affordability on part of the learner and accountability on part of the administrators and the higher educational institutions. Now, salient features of the NEP 2020. The salient features in the higher education context, as I have been telling you, we will refer only to the higher education context. Lots of changes may be there in the school education part also, but we will refer only to the higher education context. That too with reference only to colleges and universities. So the salient features include holistic, multidisciplinary, and interdisciplinary learning. We have been hearing a lot today's. Anyway, holistic education.
Madam, your voice is not audible, madam. Now it is okay, madam. No.
Am I audible, sir? Okay.
Yes, yes, madam. Yes.
Oh, thank you, sir. So, NEP 2020 at Andhra Pradesh. So we know that NEP 2020 is being implemented in Andhra Pradesh by AP State Council for Higher Education. How they are implementing it, how they are making it mandatory. Now they have introduced the UG honors program with major minor pattern. Now we are having all together a new pattern with one major subject and one minor subject. So UG honors program in the major minor pattern. Total of 160 plus 20 credits are needed for a student to get an honors degree in a particular subject. 160 academic credits and 20 credits through extension, through the internship initiatives. And there is also, they have given a scope for honors with research. In a particular subject, the student can also earn an honors degree through research, a semester-long research. And they have given us internship systematic and schematic guidelines with community engagement. So the UGC is also now insisting on community engagement. We have been involved in this for the past 3 years. So internship, which is schematic and systematic, which involves community engagement also. And multidisciplinary and skill elective courses. We know multidisciplinary courses. APSHE saw the carrot and the stick model. Carrot and the stick in the sense you are given some facilities, you are given some incentives, or you are given some nice things, and you are also insisted on some other things. So the carrot and stick model involves multidisciplinary subjects where science students have to compulsorily pursue some art subjects. Likewise, the art students have to compulsorily learn some science subjects. There are electives, they are the carrots, skill elective courses, both generic as well as subject specific electives, and MOOCs, they made mandatory, one in 7th semester and another one in the 8th semester. Blended learning, hybrid learning. Yesterday, Matthew sir was saying even the student can pursue a minor which is not offered in the college through MOOCs, through open learning. Also, they have made it compulsory to learn one OOTC. They are calling it as Open Online Transdisciplinary Course. One in the 7th semester and another one in the 8th semester. And Indian Knowledge System, they introduced an audit course on Indian Knowledge System. Presently, we are having the Indian Culture and Science course, which is mandatory for everybody. They will be shortly introducing the Indian Knowledge System. That is an audit course. So why I am referring to all these is that we need to give a big thank you to APSHE, because when you go into the process of assessment and accreditation, there are so many questions which will have answers pertaining to these items. So by implementing the APSHE curriculum pattern in toto, all colleges in Andhra Pradesh will be benefited when they go for assessment and accreditation, as we shall see shortly. Okay, NAAC assessment and accreditation, the procedure. First, we will register. If you are a first-time SSC, you will go for registration. Otherwise, no registration is needed. Once you register, you get the portal at NAAC Higher Education Portal. And then through the portal, you will make the IIQA application, Institutional Information for Quality Assessment. You make the application and you get the acceptance. Once your IIQA application is accepted, then you will be permitted to submit your SSR in 45 days. SSR, I am referring only to the current manual, which has the quality indicator framework consisting of 7 criteria, 34 key indicators and 85 metrics. Of the 85 metrics, 35 are qualitative metrics and 50 are quantitative metrics. Okay, here I said 45 days. Once your IIQA is accepted, the clock will start ticking, and within 45 days, you need to submit your SSR. Then after 45, then you also simultaneously, as you are preparing data for SSR, you also need to gather student information for student satisfaction survey. We need to provide these details to NAAC, and as they are doing the data validation and verification, they will also conduct this survey, student satisfaction survey, combined, both put together, you will get your grade. And then PTV, that is a peer team visit, will take place provided we clear the pre-qualifier. Then the peer team visit will come, you get the PTR, peer team report, and finally you will get your CG and the grade. So these are all the basic key steps that are involved in NAAC assessment and accreditation. So finally, we will get our grade and credit. So starting with registration, we will end with the grade, but the journey is not yesterday. We heard several speakers say that quality is not a destination, it is a journey. So once you get a credit and a grade, your journey will again, you will start the next phase of your journey for a better grade and for improvement in the quality. Okay, then we go to the means. So we have seen the context, we have seen the goal. Now we see the means. So if you want to achieve your goal, you need to have some means, some measures which will help you to achieve your goal. And now we will go into the means. The means are the measures which I would like to project, and they are the essential measures. As I already told you, we will register with NAAC. Here I also gave the link for a registration process tutorial. So first measure is we will register with NAAC. Then prepare, the second measure is prepare institution website. This is very, very crucial measure which you must be doing even before you go for registration also. We need to prepare the institution website. how to prepare the institution website is you need to have the home page, you need to have the NAAC tab. We need to have the tab in the home page, and this tab has to be unprotected. There should be access for everybody who wants to go through the documents. So in the NAAC tab, you need to have the previous self-study report, the peer team report, all the 4 or 5 AQRs that you have submitted so far, and the previous accreditation certificates. More importantly, the records that are needed for the present assessment and accreditation. For the present cycle, for which you are going, all the documentary evidence, which is greater than 5 MB. They will say that you upload the document in your website and then give the link for us. Only web links are permitted. That's a very important catch point. Drive links are not permitted even in AQRs. So only web links are allowed. We need to upload our documents in the website and provide the link to them such that they can do the verification process. So how we prepare the institutional website is on the home page. We have a tab for NAAC. We upload all these documents, all the documentary evidence for various criteria, and provide the links to NAAC such that they can do the verification. Then, okay, after that, the third step, third measure will be IIQA. We need to submit IIQA online. There's a tutorial also. We have so many tutorials. This is how you will get the portal enabled in your name. Once you complete your IIQA submission, and see, you have to submit the IIQA through this portal only. After registration, you will get it like this. Then we will say prepare IIQA. Then it will prepare. Then we need to provide the necessary document. According to this tutorial, if we follow, it is very easy. And let us see. IIQA submission, what institutional initiatives are needed for IIQA submission? We need to have, most important thing is we need to have a functional IQAC. The IQAC has to be functional, has to be active. So we need to have a functional IQAC, which is constituted as per UGC guidelines. There are guidelines, NAAC guidelines are there, which will say how to have the IQAC body, who all should be the members of IQAC. So it should be constituted as per guidelines. And as per the guideline, we need to meet at least 4 times in an academic year for every quarter. So there has to be minimum 4 sets of minutes of the meeting. Every meeting should have an agenda, the time and place of the meeting, then what are the minutes of the meeting, what is the action taken report. Every meeting has to be recorded in the same format. We need to have a plan of action, and finally we need to have the outcome. So what we have done, what we have planned, and what are the, as a result of this plan of action, what is the outcome of the action. So all these have to be there, plan of action and action taken report, these to be in the website. Then timely AQR submission. That means they will say before December 31st. Sometimes they have been extending also because of the pandemic and other reasons. They will also extend the timeline. But timely submission of AQR is a minimum institutional requirement for assessment and accreditation. If you want to be assessed and accredited, the very, very important requirement. Yesterday, Sairam sir was also saying several times, this is most important. Timely AQR submission is minimum institutional requirement for assessment and accreditation. Then we have for the IIQA submission, you also need to have some statutory cells and committees, certain statutory cells and committees, which are committees for SC, ST, for OBC. GRC is grievance redressal cell. These days, about 3 months back, we had fresh guidelines for grievance redressal cell. There should be provision for offline grievance submission and also online grievance submission. So you need to have a grievance redressal cell constituted according to the according to the guidelines that are given by NAAC and UGC. We need to have an internal complaints committee, ICC it is called, that is for issues pertaining to sexual harassment. So grievance redressal cell, internal complaints committee, and anti-ragging committee. We also need to have the anti-ragging committee. Just by saying that we have these committees, it's not enough. You need to have the committees, the members according to the guidelines. They need to conduct the meeting once before the commencement of the year, compulsorily at the time of closing of the academic year, and in between, as and when some cases arise, they need to conduct meetings, and the minutes of the meeting need to be recorded, and these records need to be uploaded in the website. That link has to be provided in the IIQA, then only they will permit. So we need to have committees for SC, ST and OBC, grievance redressal cell, internal complaints committee and anti-ragging committee. There should be provision to submit online and offline complaints. Then only it is permitted. You will get your IIQA accepted by NAAC, provided you fulfill all these conditions. Okay. Then once IIQA is accepted, then time starts now. Okay, yeah, then time will start ticking, because they will say within 45 days you need to submit the SSR. There are so many threats. They will say you have to pay the fee again, or you have to start from the beginning. So many things they will say. So it is safe on our side to submit the SSR before the completion of 45 days. So time starts now. Be aware of the time, passing time. For SSR, the another measure I wrote is for SSR, it is important to refer AQARs and annual reports. If you're going for the first time, you will have the annual reports of preceding years. You cannot claim any data, or you cannot claim anything that you have not reported in the annual report. So we need to stick only to our AQARs as well as annual reports. So the next step is once the time starts ticking, we need to refer our AQARs and annual reports. There I have given the link for SSR tutorial also. NAAC is providing these tutorials for everyone to learn and do their job to the best, to their requirement, to the best of our ability and to the best of their requirement. So we have a tutorial how to prepare SSR. So that is the next measure. Then the following measure is compile data for SSR. While compiling data for SSR, we need to follow the specification at the place of every metric, qualitative metric and quantitative metric. They have given specification, what form of data we need to give, how much should be the file volume, or is it an Excel sheet. They have given formats also for providing data. So we need to follow those specifications and compile data for SSR, both for extended profile as well as metric wise profile. Extended profile is all numbers mostly. So they will be the denominators for calculating the outcome, or while getting marks for different criteria, for different metrics. These extended profile values will be used. So it is very, very important to have the same figures throughout. The extended profile will have all numbers, and metric wise we will provide numbers with respect to the particular criterion, and these data has to be maintained throughout without any alteration. At one place we cannot say number of full-time teachers is 35, and at some other place we cannot say number of mentors is 40. See, mentors can never be greater than number of teachers. All teachers can be mentors, but teachers 35, mentors 40, it will bounce back. It will not take the data. So it is very important to have these figures carefully. We need to provide the data for extended profile as well as metric-wise data. Then, of course, type of, if you take autonomous college as the type of higher education institution, as I already told, there are 7 criteria, 34 key indicators, 35 qualitative metrics, 50 quantitative metrics, and totally we have 85 metrics. Now, earlier there used to be more, but now they have reduced it. They have made it simple. That is the reason why we are having so many people suggesting that better go for accreditation now itself, because we do not know from the 1st of January 2024, different aspects may be asked. It may be something different. We need time to prepare for those metrics. Better go for accreditation now itself. Follow NAAC's SOPs for current manual, not the upcoming manual or the previous manual. We need to follow. They have given SOPs also, standard operating procedures. So according to these SOPs, we need to give the data. Then the next measure we see, gather data for SSS. As the data validation and verification process is taking place, as we also have to provide the SSS, Student Satisfaction Survey, NAAC will be conducting. For that, we need to provide the data. We need to give the name, enrollment number and roll number of students. Both can be same also, but we need to fill both the columns. We need to give enrollment number, roll number, name of the student, mail ID, then mobile number, Aadhaar number. These are the details they will ask. Here I will give one small suggestion. Yesterday Gautam sir was also saying it is better to have domain mail. See, once we create mail IDs to all our students from our college domain, then automatically, we will have little control over that mail. And so we can give the exact mail ID and we will see that the students participate in the survey. So it is better to have domain mail IDs for students, faculty, IQAC, everything. Domain mail IDs are very good. There's a very good suggestion from sir. And so we need to provide data of 50% of current students, all these details. Then 10% or 100 students should respond. As I already told, we will refer only to colleges. So 10% of the students or 100, whichever is the minimum number, that many students have to respond. And in the student satisfaction survey questionnaire, there will be 20 objective and 1 subjective question. This subjective question is very, very important. 20 objective questions they will ask they will say it's a multiple choice questions and students will give their answers in some graded format. But the subjective question is very important because when we had the peer team visit, the peer team member very particularly asked for student satisfaction survey question number 21, please show the result. So we showed it in our system. We had it already posted on our website. So we showed 21 question is a subjective question for suggestions, and she read through the suggestions and she was satisfied with the way students were responding. So that is the student satisfaction survey. This has to go along with data validation and verification. So better have student data ready with you, because when you have only 45 days to work on, it is better to keep certain things already ready. Even before submission of IIQA, if you can keep these data ready, it would be helpful. We need not waste some more time on collecting this data. Then we need to, the next measure is prepare executive summary, 5,000 words in advance. This also you can do it in advance. You don't have to wait till IIQA is accepted. Executive summary in 5,000 words. And in the executive summary, you will give the introduction. You will give about the introduction, how the origin of the institution, all the introductory comments, who established it, with what motto, all that. And then vision, location of the institution, the goals of the institution, what type of institution it is. Then after all this introductory part, we will go to criterion-wise summary. There are 7 criteria. So 250 words each, you need to provide the criterion-wise summary. Then SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, and challenge. We need to give the SWOT analysis with respect to the institution. Have all these ready. We need not wait till the last day. You can have all these ready with you. So SWOT analysis, then write up on functioning of the institution, highlights of the institution and outstanding features. If you can collect enough information for highlights and outstanding features, one such feature can be projected for institutional distinctiveness in the 7th criteria. There also, we need to show some distinctive aspect of the institution. So highlights and outstanding features, and finally conclusion. All this taken together should be 5,000 words, and you need to prepare the executive summary in 5,000 words. Yeah, this is another measure. 7th measure is evaluative report of the departments. The departments, how many departments we are claiming in the extended profile, that many departments have to prepare the evaluative report. It will be the last part of the SSR, but you can have it ready with you. As soon as you think that you will be going for accreditation and assessment, you can instruct the HODs of all the departments. You can give them the blank format and ask them to prepare the evaluative report of their respective concerns. So preparation of evaluative report of the department is another measure. We can do it in advance and keep it ready. Then the next measure, 8th measure, is prepare a description in 500 words with respect to NEP implementation. This is where all of us need to be thankful, very, very thankful rather to APSHE for making it mandatory. Every time you have to do it, you have to do it. Yeah, you have to stick to the structure. Yesterday also somebody was saying you cannot deviate from the structure. If you want, you can add some more content or up to 30% or 20%. You can diversify the content of a particular paper, but you should follow the same structure, same titles, for which is very useful while preparing this write-up. See, they're asking write-up in 500 words each. How we are implementing NEP in our institution. So what are the multidisciplinary aspects or interdisciplinary aspects? In what way we are implementing these courses? See, courses are having titles itself. Multidisciplinary course in this, multidisciplinary course. So we need not search for answers. We are already implementing because of APSHE. They are giving the structure like that. So multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary context. Then academic bank of credits. All of us need to have, students need to have the DigiLocker account, and in their DigiLocker account, they will have the previous, 10th, intermediate, degree, all their certificates, originals, mark sheets and all. So we need to create an academic bank of credits in the name of the institution. If it is an autonomous college, and in the name of the institution, the particular university will create if the college is an affiliated college. So we need to have an academic bank of credits. We need to have skill development. That is, we need to give a write-up on skill development. See, skill development, to write something for this is not at all difficult because we are implementing skill internship. At the end of first year, we are doing community internship. At the end of second year, we are doing skill internship. So students will have skill internship, means they'll come and give a project report, their project titles. In that, specifically the program book has given a question. What are the skills you have learned? In what way you have been benefited? So there is one, chapter 6, where they are asking a write-up on skills. So with this skill development, we can focus on that. And we are also having so many skill courses where we will project, in the first criteria, value-added courses. In value-added courses, we will give a list of certificate or diploma courses being conducted by the college. The college will conduct those courses. All such courses which have greater than 30 hours of orientation, that if a particular certificate course is having more than 30 or more than 30 hours of teaching or conduct, you can claim it as a skill development course. So prepare a write-up of 500 words encompassing all such courses, the skill internship. And we also have semester internship, where students will go do semester-long internship. They will come back with a report. You can take, certain aspects from there. So all these you can claim as our initiatives towards skill development. CRT courses, we have AP SSDC, AP State Skill Development Corporation. They are conducting some courses for students, online, offline, 30 hours. We will always say less than 30 we don't allow. Greater than 30 we will allow, because you can show it as a collaborative certificate course. You can also run some courses. We have done, last year, St. Joseph's College, we have done courses, we have implemented courses in collaboration with the Janashikshana Samsthan. There is one central government body called Janashikshana Samsthan, and its very motto is skill development. So we have entered into some collaboration with them. They came to our college. They gave 2 certificate courses for our students. One is a beauty therapist, beautician training, and training in the preparation of some home needs products like phenyl, detergent, sanitizer, things like that. They have trained students in preparing those products. Also, we have conducted NSDC courses. We in our minutes, we have written that in case a particular student is unable to find the 6-month internship location, we will allow him or her to do the NSDC course of level 5 or greater than level 5. Like that, we have conducted junior software developer, then production chemist, manufacturing production chemist. Both are level 5 courses. Students have done so well. Out of 60 students who appeared for the NSDC exam, 58 students qualified. That is also equal to their semester internship. So we are doing semester internship, at the same time some skill development. At the same time, we have something to report under this category. So we need to prepare a description on 500 words with reference to skill development. Then of course they are asking Indian knowledge system. There has to be courses on Indian knowledge system. AQAR says that this course has to be learned online. So on Indian knowledge system, now we are having it as an audit course. Earlier content, we used to have it as Indian culture and science. You have that course. For example, we are having second language courses like Sanskrit, like Hindi, Telugu. There will be so many topics which concern with Indian knowledge system or Indian heritage or something like that. Collect, abstracts of those syllabi, make a write-up. In Telugu, we are teaching this. In English, we are teaching this. This, everything taken together will be a 500-word write-up. So we need to have a write-up of 500 words on Indian knowledge system. Then how we are implementing outcome-based education. Excuse me, 1 minute. Outcome-based education, morning also, madam gave a wonderful lecture on outcomes, how to draft outcomes, how to develop outcomes, what are the things to be kept in mind while drafting outcomes. See, all the colleges in Andhra Pradesh are implementing outcome-based education. There's no doubt about that. Why? Because we are getting syllabi wherein clearly it is specified. Course objectives, course outcomes. That means stated outcomes are there as far as courses are concerned. All the courses have stated outcomes. What are the learning outcomes? What are the learning objectives? But we need to sit together. HODs need to sit together and frame the program outcomes. Program outcomes. What is, supposing you're having a BSc MPC program. What are the expected outcomes? We run this course, we run this program. What do you think the student will achieve by completing the 3-year degree? So outcome-based education write-up, you have to prepare based on what all courses we are running, what all programs we are running, and how we are seeing that these outcomes are communicated to students. In the SSR, in the quality indicator framework, it is not enough if you have outcomes. You should also have the methodology by means of which you can communicate to students. You host them on your website. You create group mails. Once students are there in our domain mail, it is easy to create group mails class-wise. One class of students will have a set of papers, common papers. You can send a group mail to all of them with all the papers such that at a glance they will know about the outcomes of the particular course. And you can have them, in the college campus also, program outcomes need to be displayed in the form of flexes or charts here and there. So having outcome-based education and also communicating the same to students and other stakeholders is what you write under OBE. Then, of course, you have distance education and online education. Online education, now we don't have to worry about it. Yeah, APSHI made it compulsory. You need to have one UTK in the 7th semester, one UTK in the 8th semester. If you are implementing that 7th and 8th semesters honors program this year itself, yeah, you have your answer ready with you. Online education is there. Apart from that, we also enroll our students in SWAYAM courses. See, there is that value addition in first criteria also. That question is there. Earlier it was not there. Now it is included. You can also claim the SWAYAM courses done by our students. If our student has enrolled for a SWAYAM course and completed it, you can show it in the value addition component. So likewise, online education, prepare a write-up on online education, and this will finish the preparedness for NEP. Yeah, here that's why I specifically kept it as thanks to Sakshi, because we don't have to worry about answering these questions. And as rightly said, we have been doing it for 3 years, so no issue. Even if what you have already done also you can claim and you can get due credit for that. Then another initiative is the 9th measure is you need to have the EL club, electoral literacy club. That means because all students are voters, they will be the voters for next election. That means anyone who completed 21 years can vote. So obviously it is important to have electoral literacy. So establish an electoral literacy club in the college, make it functional. You give a task to the electoral literacy club, have a president, a vice president, secretary, some members, office bearers. Like that, if you have a club, you can give them the first assignment. Go to all the classes in the college, conduct elections and elect one class representative and one assistant class representative. Yeah, they will have some task. Then after that, after representatives are elected, make them the members. From the representatives, elect the treasurer, vice president. Like that, we can make the electoral club, we can start the electoral literacy club, give them some duties, and just before elections or when we are conducting community internship programs, we can make the club members go into the community, go into the society, conduct some road shows or mimes to highlight the importance of voting. Normally village voters, rural voters are very sincere. They will always go and vote at the time of election. But when it comes to cities and metropolitan cities, voting percentage will be very low. That day we like to enjoy it as a holiday rather than going out and doing the voting. So we can make use of these club members for propagating the concept of elections and voting. So that is the next measure. Then 10th measure. So in the 10th measure, we have a write-up for qualitative metrics. As I have been telling you from the beginning, for certain things, you need not wait. You can as well start now itself. Start preparing write-up for qualitative metrics. See, all qualitative metrics, they will measure intangible benefits or intangible outcomes. Quantitative metrics will measure tangible outcomes and qualitative metrics will measure intangible outcomes. So prepare in advance, write up for all qualitative metrics, have the evidence ready, have the evidence ready in the IQAC drive space or have it in the college website ready with you, host the evidence. And this one important point about qualitative metrics is at the time of peer team visit, these qualitative metrics, information, outcomes, evidence, hyperlinks, everything has to be included in the principal and IQAC coordinator presentation. They will be very, very watchful for these two persons' presentations. So all qualitative metrics, their outcomes or whatever we have been doing under that, whatever we are projecting has to be included in the IQAC coordinator as well as the principal's presentation. So we have 35 qualitative metrics, which amounts to 46% of total weightage of 1,000 marks. So this job has to be done very carefully. We, as yesterday sir was saying, every criterion will have criterion in charge and the criterion will have some members. Let the in charge and the members sit together, discuss about the various metrics that are descriptive in nature, assign the work, prepare write-ups, have the rough draft with you, then go to the IQAC meeting, to present our write-up to the IQAC members and the coordinator, get some more inputs, fine-tune the write-up and fix it to the number of words that are required. Finally, you will have a well-presented write-up on qualitative metrics. So we can start such works right from the beginning itself. Now it's a big task, earlier it was not like that, only 30% or so. Now it is 46%. Many issues, that were earlier asked in quantitative metrics, now they are asked in qualitative. So to have a good write-up for every metric is another important measure. Then quality indicator framework, as I told you, 35 qualitative metrics and 50 quantitative metrics. Qualitative metrics are subjective. They measure intangible outcomes. Then they are evaluated by the peer team through physical verification. So we need to have the physical evidence. We need to have the virtual evidence, hyperlinks, recorded videos, whatever they want, we can show. So we need to have a concise description as per word specification. Keep evidence ready for peer team visit. Next, the 11th measure is internship. We don't have to discuss anything with this. Earlier, it was difficult, 4 or 5 years back. Only some BBA or BCom, only some groups of students used to have it internship as one of their subjects. One of their subjects in some 6th semester or 5th semester. Then only those students who could go for internship, we used to report. Now it is mandatory. We need not worry. Every student after first year, community engagement or community internship. After second year, skill internship. In the final year, semester internship. So by implementing, by making it mandatory, it will be very helpful for us because internship, it will be useful. Project reporting and internship can be used at 2 locations, one in the first criteria and another one in the third criteria. So both ways, you have project reports with external authentication, you can present in the third criteria. If you have internship from this date to this date in such and such organization, a candidate has done her internship. If the candidate comes back with that certificate, you can claim it in the first criteria. So make internship mandatory, have the records with you, and then it will be done. It will be easy for us to report. Then what is step 12? Not step actually, sorry, I forgot to delete. It is measure 12. Feedback. Now, feedback is, it is important to take feedback, stakeholder feedback, what people are thinking about us, what opinion people have about our curriculum, about our institution, or about, employers will have some view on our curriculum or on our students or on the skills of the students. So stakeholders are parents, teachers, alumni, students, employers, academic experts, administrators, all these who are connected with the field of education, they're considered as stakeholder. And we need to design a questionnaire on curriculum and teaching learning, not other aspects, curriculum and teaching learning. On these aspects, we can create the questionnaire and you can use it for stakeholder feedback. Now the steps involved, you collect the feedback, you analyze the feedback, act according to the analysis. When you analyze something, people want this, people don't want this, these are unwanted course or something like that, So you get some feedback, you get some useful inputs. So analyze the feedback, act according to the analysis, whatever actions you wish to take or whatever actions you have taken, pass it in the respective boards, host it on the institutional website as feedback analysis. If you do all these 5, collect, analyze, act, pass it in bodies, host it on website, you will be eligible for the full marks. Benchmark value will be 4 in that case. So this will be the feedback mechanism. You don't have to have elaborate curriculum, this, that, and simply design a questionnaire. These days you can share it through Google Forms. Yesterday also sir was saying, Sairam sir, with Google Forms, things have become easy. Draft your questionnaire, type the questions in the Google form, name it properly, then create a link to that questionnaire, upload that particular thing. If you create it from IQAC Drive Space, feedback table will automatically go to IQAC Drive Space. So if you give the link to academic experts, they will give their feedback. You give another link to students, to teachers, to employers. Likewise, we can provide the link through WhatsApp, and within no time, we can get the feedback. Once you get the feedback and sit down and do the analysis, certain changes are mandatory. Even when no one has asked for it, also we have to implement those changes. So we can show it as the action. In the action, we can show we have introduced these courses, these we have deleted, this we modified, this we restructured, this certificate course we introduced. Based on the analysis, we have made these changes, and so these pass it in the respective bodies, and you can host it on your website. This will be the feedback mechanism, that is 12th measure. Then we have outcome-based education and the level of attainment. As I told you, program outcomes we need to draft. Course outcomes are already given. You can modify them. Madam was saying in the morning very nicely. She was saying what all levels we should have. We should have the student in our focus. They should not be outcome. They should be outcome oriented, not task oriented. So like that, have those things in our mind. Bloom's taxonomy. Frame the outcomes. Communicate them to the students, and you need to calculate the level of attainment. This is slightly tricky. Like several colleges have followed several measures measures, several ways. There are softwares also to calculate the level of attainment. But what Ram Mohan Rao sir suggested in our college when we interacted with them is it is relatively easy to have a relative mode of calculating the level of attainment. Means have a benchmark, have a target, and based on that target, how much you have attained. Supposing you survey questionnaire at entry level to students, asking them how many of what would you do after your degree. Some will say, I will go to higher education. Some will say, I will do job. Some will say XYZ. So you can have the percentage of students wanting to pursue higher education at entry level. The students have entered today. So at entry levels, we can do the survey, we can get the percentages. Then at the end, after the completion of 3 years, 25% of students wanted to go for higher education, and our higher education progress is this many students. Calculate the percentage. You will say, I got 18% of students went to higher education. You can calculate the level of attainment. Similarly, some students will say, I want to go to job immediately after degree. Then calculate that percentage. Then finally, when the batch goes out, what is the program? What is the placement percentage of the particular batch? So this many wanted to go for job. This many jobs were acquired. Based on that, calculate the level of attainment. So like that, we can calculate the level of attainment. Now they combined both the questions. In previous manual, outcomes, their propagation, communicating to students was a different question. Level of attainment was different. Now they combined both of them. So we need to prepare a write-up on program outcomes as well as level of attainment, and what all benchmarks we have set. Based on benchmarks also, we can calculate the level of attainment. That is outcome-based education and level of attainment. Then of course, we have the innovative ecosystem, innovation ecosystem. It's only words are very big. It's not so difficult. If you look at the 5 things, R&D cell. Now it is mandatory. Everybody should have it. So have an R&D cell. And when you have a cell, you need to have an advisory committee. So R&D cell and research advisory committee. Then research ethics as course content for research methodology paper. Statistics, psychology, home science. There are some departments, commerce, BBA, they have research methodology as one of their core subjects. So in that, you should have research ethics as one of the units as course content. So having an R&D cell, research advisory committee, research ethics as course content, and then IPR cell, intellectual property rights cell. Then a skill development center, APSSDC is establishing skill development centers in colleges. We can ask for a particular skill development center in our college or have our own skill development center. Simply, it's a skill development center through which we look for skill internships. We conduct skill courses, certificate courses, all value added courses. They can be conducted through the skill development center. We will conduct some workshops with us, Microsoft, or there are some organizations as their CSR initiative, they will come to college and ask, we wish to conduct some CRT training or some placement training. Then we can conduct it through our skill development center. So have a skill development center and an incubation center to incubate student ideas. Degree students, just as college students, may not have very great or very big innovation or incubation, but still small ideas, mushroom cultivation, nursery management, vermicomposting, preparing home needs products, phenyl and all. They are all small ideas. You can still show them under your incubation center. So have these cells. Having a cell means you should officially have it, who are the members, what is the constitution, what are the duties and functions, stated duties and functions, and host them on the under IQAC portal in the website. Then you can claim it as existent in the college. So IPR cell, skill development cell, incubation center. There needs to be an ethics committee which will monitor publication ethics. Once you are having IPR cell, all these research methodology, research advisory committee, ethics of research, ethics in research publication. This committee will look into all project preparation. You are applying for some project, and in that, whatever you are asking, your proposal, it has to pass through this ethics committee. You are making some publication. You have conducted some conference in the college, and some papers have come for publication, it has to get the clearance. So likewise, we need to have an ethics committee. There is one particular constitution is there. Accordingly, we will appoint members from our faculty only, from our office staff, and that is another important measure, a necessary measure which will fetch marks in the assessment and accreditation. Stated code of ethics for research implementation will be looked after by this ethics committee. There should be a stated code of ethics for research. So that is the next measure. Then 15th measure is community engagement. Community engagement, we don't have to discuss so much about it. It is very much part of all educational institutions, schools, colleges, universities, everywhere. Whatever we do under NSS, NCC, Red Ribbon Club, Swachh Bharat, activities in adopted schools, slums, villages, and community internship, impact of extension, but this is one additional question which we are getting in the new manual. All these activities you can claim in the qualitative metric, and there is also a quantitative connected metric which is linked to number of student participants. There also we can fill, but they're asking in the write-up 4 case studies where the extension activities have resulted in positive impact. So we need to, this also we can do it ahead. We have NSS program officers, NCC, some group officers in the college. You can give this task to them ahead, give in the beginning itself. Madam, we have done for 5 years NSS, NCC. Now give me 2 case studies each where your NSS activities have produced positive impact. So through 4 case studies, we need to prove in the write-up section that our extension and outreach initiatives have produced positive impact. So that is community engagement, which we are already doing. So not a big thing to project it. Now, MOUs. MOUs, we can have MOUs, memoranda of understandings with institutions, organizations, and labs. More than anything else, more than before. Now it is quite easy to have MOUs with institutions. Why with institutions? You can, it is mutually beneficial, For example, this particular FDP is being organized by the SSN college. Then this SSN college IQAC can enter into MOU with some other college IQAC. Now, once you are in an MOU, you can show it at 2 places. One is in the third criteria as a MOUs and activities conducted, number of students benefited, all that. In another thing, MOUs, in the 6th criteria under IQAC quality initiatives, one of the initiative is what all activities you have conducted in collaboration with IQACs of other institutions. So like that, it is important to enter into MOUs with institutions. Institutions also will be ready. Why? Because it is mutually beneficial. It's a win-win situation. You can claim it in your SSR and AQAR. They too can claim it in their SSR. So it is mutually benefit. We give online guest lectures. You don't have to go there. Students don't have to go there. We will be in our colleges, at our places. We can have guest lectures. We can have virtual training sessions. So MOUs with institutions and organizations. Supposing you are sending about 20 students to a particular organization for internship. You have an MOU before. If you have an MOU, you can show it in 3 as some collaborative initiation, and then you can also claim it under 6, like where you are through this MOU, we have received these benefits. So like that, it is good to have MOUs with organizations and labs. A project study the other day while I was interacting with St. Teresa College madam, she was saying, for their 6 months internship, they have done in-house projects with some other laboratory collaboration. If you have an MOU before that project study implementation, then you can show it not only as a project study, but also as an outcome for collaborative initiative. So MOUs before internship and project studies are also very helpful. The 17th measure is having a student council. students are so active, students are so much interested in conducting activities. You can have either a nominated student council or an elected student council. Now that we have an electoral literacy club, you can involve that club in conducting these elections or in conducting these nominations and identifying a team as a student council. Then student members need to be present on boards. That also we need to justify, when in our minutes, in our composition, which we host on our website, we need to show who are the student members. So having student members on boards is very important. Involve students in academic and administrative activities. We can involve students in academic activities like cooperative learning, peer teaching, higher class students teaching lower class students. It's a kind of learning for both of them. You can also involve them in administrative activities to a certain extent. Then we can have clubs, fora, and fests. Now the new manual is insisting on having cultural fests, academic fests, active clubs and associations, and outside campus initiatives outside campus like beach cleaning, like Swachh Bharat. If you have all the four, academic fest, cultural fest, clubs and active clubs and associations, and activities outside the campus, then you will be eligible for the benchmark value of 4. You will get full marks there. So students will definitely they like to participate, they like to have fests. Only thing is we need to streamline their energies and enthusiasm so as to involve them and conduct the fests. So this is the 17th measure. As I told you, I will not go into the curriculum. I am only going to the outside measures which most of us have, or you can have them easily. See, the very purpose of my presentation is to tell everyone that it is not difficult. It's not so difficult. Certain things we have no control, but certain other things with small modifications or simply reporting whatever we are already doing. If you can do it in that proper way, you can get the positive result in the assessment and accreditation. See, student council conduct nicely, have one student council, ask them to conduct elections, nice programs, fests. These are all some things, which students like very much. You can report, it's a win-win situation. Okay. Then 18, have an alumni association, and the alumni association has to be registered. It should be an alumni registered association. So registered alumni association, yesterday that sir was saying, Gautam sir was saying, if you have domain mails, it is easy to contact your alumni. Since the mail ID is created from your college domain, that mail ID can be accessed anytime because we know the mail ID. Anytime you can contact your alumnus and find out about his progression. You should also have alumni fund. It's not enough if you have an association, you should also have the alumni fund. Now this alumni fund may be contributions from alumni, or we can also generate this fund from the existing students when they become alumni. So it is important to have the alumni fund and involve alumni in various capacities. In the college for conducting various activities, you can involve the alumni as resource persons. You can send your students to alumni organizations for internship. We can ask some alumni to guide our students in their project studies. So like that, we can involve alumni in various activities. And at the time of peer team visit also, have your best alumni assembled. They will interact with the alumni, and that will also add to the credibility of the institution. Then 19th measure, ensure as MIR, minimum institutional requirement. Minimum institutional requirement is the institution should have their vision and mission. All institutions have, there's no doubt about it. Once you have a website, immediately you will put your vision and mission there. So institution should have a vision and mission, long and short-term goals. Yeah, what is a long-term goal of the institution? What is a short-term goal? Then what are the core values for the institution? Institutional perspective plan, also called as the development plan. This has to be hosted on the institutional website. So institutional perspective plan, and this perspective plan is in two parts, short-term and long-term plan, and then decentralization, how you are practicing decentralization. All these are qualitative metrics where you have to give your description. Decentralization, top to bottom, bottom to top. Some issues, they start from the governing council, come to the bottommost, the student. Some issues start in the students and go to the top. So certain changes implemented in the top to bottom fashion, certain other measures, innovations from bottom to top. Both ways we should be able to give a write-up on decentralization, e-governance and implementation of management information system. E-governance means what you are doing for examination, which one we are using for examination management system, library management system, accounts and tally, student attendance, student admissions, and then complaints. Now they have included that also. How you are able to online, how you are able to receive your complaints and grievances, how you are addressing them. So all these, e-governance has to be included in the particular institution లో ఇదొక భాగం మనం తప్పకుండా చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. ఆల్రెడీ చాలా చేస్తున్నాం. ఇది అందరూ మనం ఎలాగో కొన్నాళ్ళు ఒక కాలేజ్ కొన్ని రోజులు ఉంది అంటేనే కొన్ని సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్ కొన్ని మనం ఆల్రెడీ వాడి మనం చేస్తున్నాం. ఇంకొన్ని కలిపి మొత్తం ఇన్ ఎ నట్ షెల్ వి నీడ్ టు ప్రెజెంట్. దెన్ యూ నీడ్ టు హ్యావ్ ది పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ అప్రైజల్ సిస్టమ్. దీనికి మనకి ఏం కష్టం లేదు. ప్రతి సంవత్సరం ఏపీసీసీ వాళ్ళు అకాడమిక్ అండ్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటివ్ ఆడిట్ జరుపుతారు. వాళ్ళు మనకి స్ట్రక్చర్డ్ ఫార్మాట్స్ ఇచ్చారు. ఏఎస్ఏఆర్ అంటే యాన్యువల్ సెల్ఫ్ అప్రైజల్ రిపోర్ట్. ఎవరికి వాళ్ళు అసెస్ చేసుకుని మార్కులు వేసుకుంటాం. తర్వాత అకాడమిక్ ఆడిట్ టైంలో ఇన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ డేటా, AADPI. So all these are for performance appraisal. So if you already we are implementing, ఇందులో చాలా మనకు ఉన్నాయి. ఇంకా 1-2 మనం కలుపుకుంటే ఈ పర్టికులర్ దాంట్లో మనకి 6th క్రైటీరియాలో క్వాలిటేటివ్ మెట్రిక్స్ కి మనం చాలా చెప్పుకునేవి ఉంటాయి. తర్వాత then next 20th measure is IQAC quality initiatives. సరే, IQAC అంటే అది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్, మొత్తం చాలా క్రూషియల్ కూడా. సో IQAC should be constituted as per norms. చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఎవరు మెంబర్స్ ఉండాలి, స్టార్టింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ చైర్పర్సన్, ఎవరు కోఆర్డినేటర్, మొత్తం 1 రిప్రజెంటేషన్ ఫ్రమ్ కంప్యూటర్ సెంటర్, 1 హాస్టల్, 1 లైబ్రరీ, అలా ఏమేమి నార్మ్స్ ఉన్నాయో స్టూడెంట్ మెంబర్స్. IQAC కి ఒక QAC ఉంటే ఇంకా కూడా అడ్వాంటేజ్. QAC అంటే క్వాలిటీ అడ్వైజరీ కమిటీ. ఇప్పుడు మన యాప్షేలో QAC ఉన్నట్లే కాలేజీకి కూడా IQACకి QAC ఉంటే కొంచెం ఎవరైతే బాగా కొంచెం వెల్ వర్స్డ్ ఉన్నారో ఈ అసెస్మెంట్ అండ్ అక్రిడిటేషన్ ప్రొసీజర్ లో వాళ్ళని QAC అడ్వైజర్స్ కింద పెట్టుకోవచ్చు. వాళ్ళే మీటింగ్ కి రాకపోయినా వర్చువల్ మీటింగ్స్ కూడా పెట్టుకోవచ్చు. వాళ్ళు కొన్ని అడ్వైజర్స్, కొన్ని డైరెక్షన్స్ ఇస్తే ఇట్ విల్ బి హెల్ప్ఫుల్ ఫర్ ద కాలేజ్. దెన్ వీ నీడ్ టు హ్యావ్ రెగ్యులర్ మీటింగ్స్ 4 times ఇన్ ఎ ఇయర్ అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ వీ నీడ్ టు హ్యావ్ అన్ ఎజెండా. ఏంటి డిస్కషన్, అందులో వచ్చిన మినిట్స్ ఏంటి, దాని మీద మనం తీసుకున్న యాక్షన్ ఏంటి, ఇది మన వెబ్సైట్ లో ఎప్పుడు హోస్ట్ చేయాలి. తర్వాత అకాడమిక్ అండ్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటివ్ ఆడిట్ యాజ్ పర్ APCCE. ఈ క్వాలిటీ ఇనిషియేటివ్స్ అనేది 6th క్రైటీరియాలో ఉంటుంది. రివ్యూ ఆఫ్ టీచింగ్ లెర్నింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ అండ్ అవుట్కమ్స్. టీచింగ్ లెర్నింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ ని మనం స్టూడెంట్ సాటిస్ఫాక్షన్ సర్వే క్వశ్చనైర్ అన్నా వాడుకోవచ్చు. ఇంకో క్వశ్చనైర్ ఏదైనా మనం డెవలప్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. మన టీచింగ్ లెర్నింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ ని మనం రివ్యూ చేసుకుని అవుట్కమ్స్ ఏంటి, ఆ రివ్యూ తాలూకా అవుట్కమ్స్ ఏంటి మనం హోస్ట్ చేయాలి. అవుట్కమ్ అంటే ఏంటి, మనము రివ్యూ చేసి దానిలో ఎనాలిసిస్ లో ఏం కనుక్కున్నామో దాని మూలంగా మనం ఏం చేసాం, దాని మూలంగా మనకు వచ్చిన బెనిఫిట్ ఏంటి, ఏం చేంజెస్ చేసాం, ఏం బెనిఫిట్ వచ్చింది. సో అవుట్కమ్స్ అండ్ సబ్మిషన్ ఆఫ్ AQAR అండ్ హోస్టింగ్ ఆన్ వెబ్సైట్. మనం టైమ్లీ సబ్మిషన్ చేయాలి. AQAR వాళ్ళు కొంచెం ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేస్తారు కూడా, బట్ ఏదైనా కానీ ఏ ఏడాదికి ఆ ఏడాది AQAR సబ్మిట్ చేయాలి. సబ్మిట్ చేసింది వెబ్సైట్ లో హోస్టింగ్ చేయాలి. తర్వాత NIRF లో వాళ్ళు ఓన్లీ పార్టిసిపేషన్ అడుగుతున్నారు. సో మనం అందరము NIRF కి రిజిస్టర్ అయ్యి డేటా ఇచ్చి ర్యాంకింగ్ లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయాలి. అండ్ యూ కెన్ ఆల్సో హ్యావ్ an extra benefit if you can go for outside quality audits like ISO. అది కంపల్సరీ కాదు, చేస్తే ఇంకొక పాయింట్ పెరుగుతుంది. Then 21 ఇనిషియేటివ్స్ ఫర్ వాల్యూస్ అండ్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ. 7th క్రైటీరియాలో ఉంది. వాల్యూస్ అండ్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీకి మనము కొన్ని ఇనిషియేటివ్స్. ఇది కూడా ఏమీ కరికులం తో సంబంధించింది కాదు. అన్ని నేను చెప్పేవన్నీ కూడా అవుట్ సైడ్ వే, అంటే మనము చిన్నగా చేసుకోవడం ద్వారా చెప్పుకుని బాగా మంచిగా రాసుకుని ప్రొజెక్ట్ చేసుకోగలిగిన వాటి మీదే నేను ఫోకస్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఎందుకంటే లైక్ because now we are going to get the next methodology for assessment. It is better many colleges will accredit it in this year itself. Let the new colleges or the ones that went long back and discontinued with AQR submission, they too can feel that yeah, ఇది అంత డిఫికల్ట్ కాదు, వెళ్ళొచ్చు చేయొచ్చు అని చెప్పడమే నా ఉద్దేశం. సో జెండర్ ఈక్విటీ మెజర్స్ we can do, co-education colleges లో some measures aimed at gender equity, and then gender audit we can conduct at every level of employment in students. For how many, gender audit means how many male, how many female in the rank of officers or teachers or students or support staff. Yeah, we can conduct gender audit. Gender equity measures, we can implement certain measures that we get certain dictums from UGC, and we also can design our own. We can celebrate some Girl Child Day, Women's Day. We can conduct some women empowerment talks or workshops. So like that, these are the gender equity measures. And then you can go for environmental audit or green audit, energy audit. ఇది మరి అంత కష్టం కాదు. There are agencies, అందరితో చేయించుకుంటే ఉపయోగం ఉండదు. యూజీసీ వాళ్ళు అంటే కొంతమంది సర్టిఫైడ్ ఏజెన్సీస్ ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళతో మాకు మొన్న చేశారు, ఆన్లైనే చేశారు. మన దగ్గర ఉన్న డేటా అంతా వాళ్ళు అడుగుతారు, రకరకాలుగా మనం ప్రొజెక్ట్ చేస్తాము, ఆన్లైన్ వెరిఫికేషనే చేస్తారు కూడా. కావాలంటే వస్తారు, బట్ ఆన్లైన్ కూడా చేయించుకోవచ్చు. ఎనర్జీ ఆడిట్ అంటే మనం ఎంత ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తున్నాము, సోలార్ ప్యానెల్స్ లేకపోతే విండ్ ప్లాంట్ లేకపోతే బయోగ్యాస్, మనం ఎంత ఎల్ఈడి బల్బ్స్ వాడుతున్నాము, ఎంత రెన్యూబుల్ రిసోర్సెస్, నాన్ రెన్యూబుల్, అలా వాళ్ళు ఎనర్జీ ఆడిట్ ఒక రోజులో చేసేస్తారు, చేసి సర్టిఫికెట్ ఇస్తారు. వీటన్నిటి మూలాన ఏంటంటే 7th క్రైటీరియా చాలా అన్ని రైటప్సే, అన్ని అంటే జస్టిఫై చేసుకుని పియర్ టీమ్ కి చూపించుకునేవే కాబట్టి దీంట్లో అంత మరీ మనం ఎక్కువ కష్టపడాల్సినవి ఏమీ లేవు. Yes sir.
Next resource person is waiting, madam.
Yes sir, I'll just wind up.
Will it take, madam garu?
ఒక్క 10 minutes లో వైండ్ అప్ చేస్తాం సార్.
Madam, what about Sujata madam? Shall she continue after your session?
Yeah, she will just, it's okay, I will wind up with my session. She will also just join in saying thank you. Okay,
Sure.
Yeah, I'll just 10 minutes లో వైండ్ అప్ చేస్తానండి.
Okay madam, okay.
We are into the 21st measure. So beyond campus green initiatives like beach cleanup, కొంచెం వాళ్ళే మనకు ఒక్కొక్కసారి మనకి నోటీసే వస్తుంది, మీ పిల్లల్ని జాయిన్ చేయండి, లేకపోతే ఎన్ఎస్ఎస్ నుంచి కాగితం వస్తుంది, లేకపోతే మనమే వాలంటరీగా న్యూస్ పేపర్ లో చదివి మనం జాయిన్ చేయొచ్చు మన స్టూడెంట్స్ ని. సో సచ్ గ్రీన్ ఇనిషియేటివ్స్ బియాండ్ క్యాంపస్, అవుట్ సైడ్ క్యాంపస్, now they are giving importance to outside campus initiatives. Then sensitizing students on constitutional duties and responsibilities. నిన్న సార్ కూడా చెప్పారు ఏంటి అంత యూనివర్సల్ హార్మనీ, కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ డ్యూటీస్, ఓటర్ డే, అలాంటి అంటే వాట్ ఆల్ థింగ్స్ వి డూ ఫర్ అవర్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్. దెన్ కోడ్ ఆఫ్ కాండక్ట్ ఫర్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఆన్ ద వెబ్సైట్. మనం అందరికి పిల్లలకి చేయకూడదు, లేకపోతే ఇలా ఉండాలి, ఇలా ఉండకూడదు, అడ్మిషన్ టైంలో కూడా చెప్తాం, సంతకాలు పెట్టించుకుంటాం. అది మోడ్ ఆఫ్ కాండక్ట్ కింద మనం డిజైన్ చేసి ఒక డ్రాఫ్ట్ కింద చేసుకొని ప్రిన్సిపాల్ సిగ్నేచర్ తో వెబ్సైట్ లో కనుక మనం ఇవన్నీ చేస్తే 7th క్రైటీరియాలో మనం మాక్సిమం బెనిఫిట్ డిరైవ్ చేసుకోగలం. తర్వాత బెస్ట్ ప్రాక్టీసెస్ అన్ని ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్ కి ఉంటాయి. దీనికి ఆఫ్టర్ స్టూడెంట్ సాటిస్ఫాక్షన్ సర్వే, దానికి 50 మార్క్స్, నెక్స్ట్ 30+20 దీనికి 50 మార్క్స్. సో మేము లోగడ వెళ్ళినప్పుడు పెద్దవాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడినప్పుడు హ్యావ్ వన్ బెస్ట్ ప్రాక్టీస్ ఫర్ కరిక్యులర్ అండ్ అనదర్ బెస్ట్ ప్రాక్టీస్ ఫర్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ అండ్ ఎక్స్ట్రా కరిక్యులర్ యాక్టివిటీస్ అని చెప్పారు. సో ఎవరెవరు కాలేజీని బట్టి వాళ్ళు బెస్ట్ ప్రాక్టీస్ ఐడెంటిఫై చేసి టైటిల్ ఆఫ్ ద బెస్ట్ ప్రాక్టీస్, ఆబ్జెక్టివ్స్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రాక్టీస్, కాంటెక్స్ట్ ఇన్ విచ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఇంప్లిమెంటెడ్ ద ప్రాక్టీస్, డిస్క్రిప్షన్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రాక్టీస్, measurable outcomes, లేకపోతే difficulties encountered, extra information, అలాగా with photographic and video evidence we need to have it on our website, academic and extension best practices. Then as I told you in the beginning, every institution has some distinctive, one or more distinctive features. One you can project as institutional distinctivity and prepare write up and have the evidence on the website. Then other desirable measures, so far 22 వరకు మనము ఈజీ అంటే మనము ఉండవలసిన మెజర్స్ డిజైరబుల్. ఇంకా ట్యాబ్ ఫర్ రీసెర్చ్ ఇన్ ద హోమ్ పేజ్ ఆఫ్ ద హైయర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ వెబ్సైట్ have a research promotion policy. నిన్న కూడా చాలా మంది చెప్పారు, seed money project, have some seed money, spend it on teachers if they publish a paper or give them money to travel, things like that. So policy for research promotion, ఇవన్నీ పాలసీస్ లాగా ఉండాలి. అంటే పాలసీ అంటే ఒక బాడీలో, స్టాట్యుటరీ బాడీలో పాస్ అవ్వాలి, విత్ డ్యూ సిగ్నేచర్స్, పాలసీ డాక్యుమెంట్ లాగా వెబ్సైట్ లో ఉండాలి. హ్యావ్ అకాడమిక్ క్యాలెండర్ ఇన్ ద వెబ్సైట్. ప్రతి కాలేజ్ కి యాప్షే క్యాలెండర్ ఏదో ఒక క్యాలెండర్ మన కాలేజ్ నేమ్ లో ఉండాలి, అకాడమిక్ క్యాలెండర్. అండ్ ఇంప్రూవ్ లైబ్రరీ యూసేజ్ బోత్ ఆన్లైన్ అండ్ ఆఫ్లైన్. ఎప్పుడైతే మనము డొమైన్ మెయిల్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తామో పిల్లలు వాళ్ళ ఎన్లిస్ట్ ఐడి వాడుకుని కనుక బ్రౌజింగ్ చేస్తే ఆ యూజర్ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ కాలేజీకి పెరుగుతాయి. సో మీరు చెప్పాలి, ప్రాజెక్ట్ వర్క్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు మీరు గూగుల్ లో డైరెక్ట్ గా బ్రౌజ్ చేయడం కాదు, డొమైన్ మెయిల్ వాడుకున్న దాంతో బ్రౌజింగ్ చేస్తే, ఎన్లిస్ట్ ఐడి యూజ్ చేసుకుని చేస్తే ఇట్ ఈస్ మ్యూచువల్లీ హెల్ప్ఫుల్. సో వీ షుడ్ ఇంప్రూవ్ లైబ్రరీ యూసేజ్ బోత్ ఆన్లైన్ అండ్ ఆఫ్లైన్. అండ్ వీ షుడ్ సబ్మిట్ డేటా టు ఐషే. ఇది కూడా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్, తప్పనిసరిగా చెయ్యాలి కూడా, ఆల్ ఇండియా సర్వే ఆర్ హైయర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్. దెన్ కాలేజ్ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ ఎన్ ఐటీ పాలసీ and stated code of conduct, do's and don'ts, as I told you just now. Do's and don'ts for students, teachers and staff. Service rules for appointment and promotion. ఇవన్నీ కూడా వెబ్సైట్ లో, ఈ డిజైరబుల్ అన్నీ కూడా వెబ్సైట్ లో ఉండాలి. There should also be a committee for monitoring the adherence to these rules. Then 23, we stopped at 22. I again started 23. Important measure, important and పెట్టాను. Documentation, how we document our data. మనం ఎవిడెన్స్ చూపించాలి కదా, అందుకని వెబ్సైట్ లో డాక్యుమెంటేషన్, ఐక్యూఏసి డాక్యుమెంటేషన్, డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ లో డాక్యుమెంట్స్, ఆఫీస్ లో డాక్యుమెంట్స్. మనం కొన్ని వర్చువల్ ఫామ్ లో మెయింటైన్ చేస్తాం, కొన్ని ఫిజికల్ కాపీస్ మెయింటైన్ చేస్తాం. సో డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ ఈజ్ అ వెరీ 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 ఇంపార్టెంట్ మెజర్ ఫర్ NAAC assessment and accreditation. Then a more important measure, that is documentation is important. A more important measure is presentation. How we present ourselves. మొత్తం 46% weightage just presentation లో మనం ఆ 2 రోజుల్లో చూపించగలగాలి వాళ్ళకి. So how we present. Principal will give presentation, IQAC coordinator will give presentation. తప్పకుండా ఇంక్రిమెంటల్ గ్రోత్ మనము చూపించగలగాలి. అంటే ఇలా మొదలయ్యాము, అప్పుడు ఇలా ఉంది, ఇప్పుడు ఇలా ఉంది, ఇప్పుడు ఇలా పెరిగాము, లేకపోతే లాస్ట్ అసెస్మెంట్ కి ఇలా ఉంది, ఇప్పుడు ఇలా ఇంప్రూవ్ అయ్యాము, వాళ్ళు ఇలా సజెషన్ ఇచ్చారు, మేము ఇలా ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసి ఇలా బెనిఫిట్ పొందాము. సో ప్రిన్సిపల్, ఐక్యూఏసీ కోఆర్డినేటర్, డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్, ఎక్స్ట్రా కరికులర్ అంటే ఒక్కొక్కసారి ఫెస్ట్లు లేకపోతే ఎక్స్ట్రా కరికులర్ ప్రెజెంటేషన్ అడిగితే, లేకపోతే ఫెసిలిటీస్ చూపించమంటే, వీ షుడ్ బి ఏబుల్ టు గివ్ ద బెస్ట్ ప్రెజెంటేషన్. అండ్ దాంట్లో ఇంక్రిమెంటల్ గ్రోత్ అనేది తప్పకుండా యాడ్ చేసుకోవాలి. And finally, I close with the 25th measure, which is most important measure, is the particular person or IQAC should be able to drive teamwork and cooperation, this whole assessment process. In fact, ఈ FDP చేయడంలోనే మాకు కనిపిస్తోంది మీరు ఎంత మంచిగా టీమ్ వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారు అని. అలాగా ఇంకా పెద్ద స్కేల్లో ఇంకా ఎక్కువ మందిని ఇన్వాల్వ్ చేసి మనము ఐకేఎస్సి కోఆర్డినేటర్ అనండి, ప్రిన్సిపాల్ అనండి, స్టీరింగ్ కమిటీ కోఆర్డినేటర్ అనండి, వీళ్ళు దే షుడ్ బి ఏబుల్ టు డ్రైవ్ టీమ్ వర్క్ అండ్ కోఆపరేషన్. కోఆర్డినేషన్ అని కూడా పెడదాం అనుకున్నాను, దెన్ ఇట్ విల్ బి పర్సనలైజ్డ్. సో అందుకని అది వదిలేసి వి షుడ్ బి ఏబుల్ టు డ్రైవ్ టీమ్ వర్క్ అండ్ కోఆపరేషన్. అండ్ దెన్ ఫైనల్లీ, why we go for assessment and accreditation with these measures? Because it is mandatory, because it is catalyst for quality improvement, and because NEP is implemented by APSHE in a manner in which all institutions can achieve assessment and accreditation. అంటే అలాగా కంపల్సరీ చేయడం ద్వారా యాప్షే వాళ్ళు మనకి హెల్ప్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో మనము ఇట్ ఈస్ అచీవబుల్, ఇట్ ఈస్ the known like devil and the deep sea అని పెట్టాను. అంటే ఇప్పుడు వెళ్ళాలి అంటే భయము, కానీ వచ్చేది ఏంటో మనకు తెలీదు, డీప్ సీ. సో అందుకని బెటర్ నోన్ డెవిల్ ఈజ్ బెటర్ దెన్ అన్నోన్ ఏంజల్. కాబట్టి ఈ నోన్ డెవిల్ నే మనం డెవిల్ కాదు, మనం చాలా ఆల్రెడీ చేస్తూనే ఉన్నాం. కాబట్టి మనము ద డెవిల్ ఈజ్ నోన్. సో అసెస్మెంట్ అండ్ అక్రెడిటేషన్ ఈస్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద క్వాలిటీ జర్నీ. అందరము కూడా వి వాంట్ టు మూవ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎ బిగినింగ్ టు అ పాయింట్. మనం చాలా మంచి క్వాలిటీ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ అనే పేరు మనకి రావాలి అవ్వాలి, లేకపోతే మనం చేసేది మంచి క్వాలిటీ పని అని మనకి గుర్తింపు రావాలి అంటే assessment and accreditation is a part of quality journey. Let us be part of this quality journey. If you have not started, please start the journey. If you are already started, please continue the journey and scale greater heights so as to realize or so as to contribute to realization of NEP 2020 goals. All things are difficult before they are easy. చూసినప్పుడు చాలా భయమేస్తుంది, but once we start doing, they will become easy. So only initially they will appear to be difficult, but eventually they will become easy. And with that, I end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. P. Sarada Madam.
Yes, sir.
You have given a wonderful piece of talk.
She covered all the things already. Mine also she covered, sir. That's why we exceed the time.
One query from
We're very sorry, we exceed the time also.
Dr. L. Nagalakshmi Devi.
Yes, sir.
Dr. L. Nagalakshmi Devi, he has raised a hand. I think there may be query from her.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Madam, Nagalakshmi Devi, madam. Please raise your hand again. Nagalakshmi Devi, madam. Please raise your hand. Okay, madam. Maybe madam is, I think madam is being paid. Madam, now I request Dr. P. Sarada, madam, who is from Department of Chemistry and captain of NCC.
Sujata.
Sorry,
Yes.
madam.
Okay.
Captain Sujata from
Yes.
Department, St. Joseph College, Autonomous Vijayawada, YJ.
Yes. Yes.
Please continue the session, madam. Remember, madam, we have.
Yes, sir. We have
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. She will just wind up.
Sir, Dr. K. Emmanuel. Please,
Sir,
continue the
already.
session, madam, as early as possible.
Yes, sir. Madam have completed all. She covered all the criteria, sir. She covered all the measures. So
Thank you.
almost we
Please,
are closing our session, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. It's a great opportunity to present our presentation. So thank you, sir. We are closing our session, sir. Sir, you can start your next session, sir.
One query, madam. One query.
Yes,
Query
sir.
from Gurunath Reddy, Guru Prasad Reddy.
Yes, sir.
Sir, Guru Prasad Reddy garu, your Guru Pratap Reddy garu, you may ask your query. You may unmute your device and ask your query. Guru Pratap Reddy garu. Guru Pratap Reddy garu.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Ask your query.
At the outset, I would like to thank SSM College for having organized this wonderful faculty development program. Almost all the sessions have been very informative, and we got an opportunity to learn so many things. Particularly during this session, there was an elaborate discussion on different criteria of NAAC and things or strategies that need to be deployed in the run-up to NAAC preparation. But one alarming concern is these days, NAAC has stopped funding different colleges or research projects. So in such a scenario, is there any possibility of raising funds from other sources? Have any one of you found some alternative ways for that?
Raising funds from other sources.
Sir, other sources ante we can ante mana alumni students కనుక మంచి పొజిషన్స్ లో సెటిల్ అయి ఉంటే మనము కొన్ని వర్క్ షాప్స్ వాళ్ళ కొలాబరేషన్ తో చేయొచ్చు సార్. వాళ్ళని రిసోర్స్ పర్సన్స్ గా పిలవచ్చు, లేదంటే మనము ఒక NGO తో టైఅప్ అయ్యి అంటే మేబీ ఫండ్స్ రూపంలో మనము అన్నిసార్లు రేస్ చేయలేకపోయినా సపోర్ట్ రూపంలో మనము తెచ్చుకోవచ్చు సార్. తెచ్చుకుని ఇలాంటి కొంచెం కాన్ఫరెన్స్ లు లేకపోతే చిన్న చిన్న ప్రాజెక్ట్స్, కాలేజ్ వాళ్ళే సీడ్ మనీ ఇస్తున్నారు ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ కి. అలాంటివి కొన్ని చిన్న చిన్నగా మనం చేయొచ్చు. అంటే డైరెక్ట్ గా ఒక యూజీసీ, డిఎస్టి ఇలాంటి వాళ్ళే ఫండింగ్ బాడీస్. నాక్ అనేది ఇంతకు ముందు ఇలాంటి చిన్న చిన్న కాన్ఫరెన్స్లు అవి చేయడానికి సపోర్ట్ ఇచ్చేవాళ్ళు. రాను వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తున్నారంటే రిసోర్స్ పర్సన్ ని వాళ్ళే ప్రొవైడ్ చేసి ఆన్లైన్ చెప్తున్నారు. సో ఇది చాలా రోజులు అయింది అనుకుంటున్నాను నేను. ఏంటంటే ప్రాజెక్టులు అవి చేయడానికి నాక్ ఫండింగ్ ఇవ్వడం అనేది ఇట్స్ మేబీ లాంగ్ బ్యాక్ ఇట్ యూస్ టు బి దేర్, బట్ ఈ మధ్యలో ఎప్పుడూ లేదు కదా సార్.
అవును మేడం, అందుకనే అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇంటరాక్షన్ లీడ్స్ టు ఇంట్రోస్పెక్షన్ అండ్ ఇంట్రోస్పెక్షన్ పేవ్స్ ద వే ఫర్ ఇన్నోవేషన్.
అవును సార్.
If somebody has some viable alternatives, we too can follow the same things. And here, as most of us are from government colleges, so it will be a kind of sharing the experiences. I mean, government colleges means not only government colleges run by government, but mostly public funded institutions.
అవును సార్.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for your elaborate discussion on this NAC preparation. It was very useful to us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And one more query from Anuradha, madam. Madam has asked, could you please tell us how to calculate SOS and POS?
And sir, SOS.
Please tell us how to calculate SOS and POS.
Sir, SOS అంటే నాకు తెలీదు. అంటే ప్రోగ్రామ్ అవుట్కమ్స్ కదా సార్. POS అంటే మరి SOS అంటే
your voice is not audible.
సార్ SOS అంటే మరి నాకు కూడా తెలియదు సార్. నాకు తెలిసింది POS and COS.
Maybe madam, I think that may be POS. Course outcome. It may be mistyped. It may be either COS and POS, madam. For this, madam garu, we have a wonderful session from Leela Mohan Rao garu. He will give the complete presentation on
COS.
Morning, madam.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
And yes, madam. Anuradha madam has rewritten that is COS. What we heard, that's the same, madam. And one more query from my side, madam.
Yes, sir.
During your session, you have given a name, Janashikshana Samstha.
Yes, sir.
Can you repeat the address of Janashikshana Samstha, madam, or is it a website?
సార్ వాళ్ళకి అది ఆల్ ఓవర్ ఇండియా గవర్నమెంట్ అంటే అది స్కిల్ ఇండియా వాళ్ళది ఇనిషియేటివే. గవర్నమెంట్, సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ బాడీ. వాళ్ళు మేజర్ సిటీస్ అన్నిట్లోనూ ఉంటారు సార్. నేను మీకు ఒకసారి రిఫర్ చేసి మెసేజ్ పెడతాను. మేము జనశిక్షణ సంస్థాన్ వాళ్ళతో కొలాబరేట్ అయ్యి ముందు బలానా కోర్సులు మీరు మాకు రన్ చేయాలి, 30 hours మినిమం ఉండాలి అని ముందు మేము మాట్లాడుకున్నాం సార్. వాళ్ళ స్పెసిఫిక్ టైం లైన్స్ కూడా చెప్పాం. ఈ రోజు ఈ టైంలోనే అలో చేస్తాము అని. వాళ్ళు వచ్చి చక్కగా వాళ్ళే అన్ని తెచ్చుకుని కావాల్సినవన్నీ మనకి డెమాన్స్ట్రేట్ చేసి పిల్లల్ని ట్రైన్ చేసి, ఇంకా మోర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్లీ దే విల్ గెట్ ద సర్టిఫికేట్ ఫ్రమ్ NSDC. అంటే ఒరిజినల్ సర్టిఫికేట్స్ పిల్లలకి వస్తాయి అన్నమాట. అది మనము వాల్యూ యాడెడ్ కోర్సెస్ లో క్లెయిమ్ చేయొచ్చు. అంటే అది మనకి బెనిఫిట్, పిల్లలకి కూడా బెనిఫిట్.
Wonderful.
నేను పెడతాను సార్, పెడతాను.
Sure, madam. This will definitely help us with all the colleges also. And now I request Sujata madam to hand over mic, madam. You may continue.
Okay, sir. Almost she covered everything, sir. So madam have covered everything. So we are going to conclude our session, sir.
Okay.
Okay, na sir.
I request our co-convener of this FDP, Dr. Mudda Ramesh garu. He is in charge Department of Mathematics, to give special thanks to the both of these speakers.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Madam, it is very nice presentation and very enlightening to all the participants. You are simply discussing how to submit IIQA and how to prepare website, how to prepare and submit SSR, EL club, so many things. This is This is very useful session for all those colleges who are getting ready to go for NAC. Thank you, madam. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Next.
Sir,
Thank you.
1 minute, sir. I'm very sorry. We are both sorry, sir.
Thank you,
We
Ramesh
extended, unless we have moved
respected
beyond
madams,
the time.
behalf of N.COLLEGE management, our president, Sri Kapilva Vijay Kumar Garu, and our secretary and correspondent, and ex-municipal chairperson of NARASARAOPET, Sri Nagasara Subraya Gupta Garu, and our beloved principal, Dr. S. Mallai Garu, and our good friend, and IQC coordinator, Dr. P. Srinivasa Garu, and all are giving thanks to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
have
sir.
covered each and every corner of the topics, and we are
Thank you, sir.
delighted of your session, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thanks.
Madam, one more request from my side.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please share us your PPT, madam. Then
Okay, sir.
we will post in either chat box or in the group, madam.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Useful to all these staff
Okay,
members.
sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you both.
Thank you, sir.
And now I request another resource person. He is none other than Dr. K. Emmanuel. Dr. K. Emmanuel, sir, who is from our department, that is the Department of Chemistry. And he is from YVNR Government Degree College, Kaikaluru. He is a good friend of us. And actually, sir has requested that, sir, my class need at least 1.5 hours. No issue, sir. You may continue the class. No issue. Now, sir. Now I request our co-convener, Dr. M. Ramesh Garu, to give brief biodata towards Dr. K. Emmanuel, sir. Thank you, sir. Over to Dr. M. Ramesh Garu.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. And I welcome the participants to the second part of this afternoon session. And we have Dr. K. Emmanuel as resource person for this session. He is going to talk on institutional preparedness for the effective NAAC accreditation. It is my pleasure to introduce him to all of you. Dr. K. Emmanuel did his post-graduation in chemistry from SV University, Tirupati. He got his MPhil degree and he obtained his PhD in 2008 from Acharya Nagarjuna University. He is academician having 31 years of teaching and research experience. Dr. K. Emmanuel is working in the field of materials science and analytical chemistry, and he published 82 papers in various national and international journals. He presented his research at most 100 research articles. He completed 2 minor research projects sanctioned by UGC. He visited the countries like Kuala Lumpur and Singapore on research work. He awarded 6 MPhil degrees and awarded 2 PhD degrees. He wrote 2 practical manuals for intermediate students, 4 books for UG students. His book was published by Lambert's Academic Publication, Germany in 2012. He is instrumental in the establishment of Central Research Laboratory worth of 1 crore rupees, which is useful to serve the society in protecting the environment. In 2009, he was a recipient of State Best Teacher Awards from the Government of Andhra Pradesh. He also received 11 other awards by national and international agencies. He bagged about 13 awards to his credit. He worked as research director for APJ Abdul Kalam Central Research Laboratory, presently vice principal and principal FAC Sir C.R. Reddy College, Aided Autonomous Yelloor. Presently, he is working as professor of chemistry, YVNR Government Degree College, Kaikalur, Yelloor. We are happy to have Dr. K. Emmanuel as one of the resource person, and I hope This presentation will be useful for all the participants in the contest of NEP 2020. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ramesh garu. A nice thank you, Ramesh sir. A very good brief bio of Dr. K. Emmanuel sir. I think sir has missed several points. Actually, you have very important points to discuss, sir. No issue. And sir, as per your request, we have also given co-host as to Jalababu gar, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
He may also join.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you
sir.
very much.
He may continue the class. No issue.
Am I audible, sir? Am I audible, sir? Sir, na మాట వినిపిస్తుందా?
Sir, audible, sir. Audible.
Yeah. So, thank you very much. And good evening to you all. I would like to congratulate the organizers for conducting the wonderful and useful 5-day FDP program. I wish to thank the management committee of SS&N.COLLEGE, NARASARAOPET, principal, convener of the FDP, and IQAC coordinator for giving me the opportunity to share some of my experiences regarding the approaching of NAAC accreditation. It is a great honor for me to be here. I'm also thankful to Dr. Ambudha Prakash Garu, who has introduced me with kind words. You are really going to enjoy the time spent together this evening. I'm going to share with you some of the most important ideas that have ever been discovered in this area. As per the guidelines of the UGC, New Delhi, and also CCE, AP, that every higher education institution must undergo the NAAC accreditation. Most of us thought that NAAC preparation is a big task, which is not easy to complete. But that is not true. It's a part and parcel of our job chart. In the olden days, some 15 to 20 years before, the job of the lecturer was to complete the syllabus, and that too the blackboard teaching. But now the whole scenario has changed. We should train the students based on 7 criteria system. Most of us are following regarding the NAAC what the other colleges are following. We are simply downloading 4 to 5 SSR of the top grade colleges like A+ and A++, and we are blindly following those SSRs without knowing the basics. Most of us have never gone through the guidelines set up by the NAAC. NAAC office updates its rules for every 6 months. If we can follow the guidelines, it is not that difficult to get a better grade. We, especially the government colleges in AP, thought that we are not having a proper financial aid, physical infrastructure, and adequate staff to get a better grade. Yes, it is true. Due to pandemic, the financial condition of the whole world gets damaged. In this situation, even the governments, both the central and state governments, are not in a position to provide the proper financial aid, adequate infrastructure, and also the staff. So, in this situation, we will have to go through the NAAC manual thoroughly. There are a lot of changes. Previously, there were no benchmarks. Now, they clearly mentioned about the benchmarks. For example, how many conferences or seminars or workshop that we will have to conduct to get a good marks. But now they have given clearly about the numbers. Suppose, for example, if the conferences, especially on research methodology, intellectual property rights, entrepreneurship, are greater than 40 for a period of 5 years, you will get a benchmark of 4. And one more suggestion, that the organizers are not assigned me any specific topic. Therefore, based on my experience, I have chosen the topic. The title of my talk is already known, that is Institutional Preparedness for Effective NAAC Accreditation. The essence of my talk is how to get a better grade with our limited resources. This is an important one. The essence of my talk is how to get a better grade with our limited resources. So it's a sort of a repetition, I think, because almost all the speakers will speak on the same points. So my previous speakers are also mentioned about the NEP, the guidelines, etc., etc. And we know very well the NAAC revises its evaluation system from time to time, especially from 2020 NEP policy also, they have again revised. You know very well the important points like adopting multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary certificate or value-added courses, academic bank credits, introducing skill development courses, appropriate integration of Indian knowledge system, focus on outcome-based education, distant education, all these points. So the NAAC office revised its evaluation system based on NEP 2020. Keeping all these points in view, I will start my talk with the basics like what is NAAC, what is its purpose, and how the NAAC process initiates in a college, what is the fee structure, and how many stages are there in getting a grade, what are the steps that we will have to follow to get a better grade with our limited resources. Of course, some of the participants may be well aware of all these things, but there are some staff members who were joined in the service recently. For them, it may be very useful. Because you know very well, since NAAC work is a teamwork, so all the staff, including non-teaching, must be aware of all the points regarding NAAC. The biggest problem that the college is now facing is, you know very well, the majority of the staff are not involving in the NAAC work because of lack of awareness. They thought that NAAC is a nightmare. Even in big colleges, where I worked in Sarsiaradi College, Autonomous College, Yelur, for the past 26 years, in our college, more than 140 lecturers are there. In Sarsiaradi College, I have faced 4 cycles, 4 peer teams. In all those times, only a handful of lecturers are involved in the preparation of NAAC works. So that is the biggest problem. So therefore, every college should conduct workshops or seminars or webinars about the NAAC and give awareness to all the staff members, since it is a teamwork. So I want to share my screen. So is my screen is visible, sir? So is my screen is visible? Can any one of you please help me? Sir, na yokka PowerPoint మీకు కనబడుతుందా సార్? So nobody is there to help me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The
Sir,
Okay,
PowerPoint
thank
is
you.
visible.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
It is sharing.
So,
also.
yeah. So I'm starting with the basics. So you know very well, National Assessment and Accreditation Council. It is started in the year 1994 as an autonomous body by University Grants Commission with its headquarters in Bangalore. So what is the purpose of NAAC? It evaluates higher education institution for the conformance to the standards of quality in terms of its performance in various aspects. So after submitting at least 4 AQARs, that is annual quality assurance report, the process initiated with the submission of IIQA, that is institutional information for quality assessment. After that, we are going to submit the SSR, then the DVV process starts. After that, after the pre-qualifier, a peer team will visit our college and we will get the grade points. So the revised assessment and accreditation A&A framework launched in July 2017. Paradigm shift from qualitative data to based on quantitative indicator evaluation, peer judgment with increased objectivity, transparency towards extensive use of ICT and its integration and evaluation. In terms of simplification of the process, drastic reduction in the number of questions, size of the report, visit dates. Previously, in the year 2004-2005, we used to send more than 1,000 pages of matter in a triplicate set. We are sending to Bangalore. Now, the SSR has been drastically reduced to simply by 100 and 120 pages, just like that. And introducing the pre-qualifier for peer team visit. That means if you can get only greater than 30% of system generated score only, the peer team will come and visit your college. And there are 3 important stages. That is self-study report, student satisfaction survey, and peer team report. So as far as I'm concerned, even though there are university and autonomous colleges, I am mainly concerned about the affiliated colleges because most of the participants may be from government degree colleges. So therefore, I am completely concentrating on the affiliated or constituent colleges. So the SSR contains 87 metrics for the universities and 85 metrics for the autonomous and only 56 metrics for affiliated colleges. So first of all, we'll have to learn the terminology. So the SSR contains mainly 2 types of metrics. Previously, it was questions, now it is metrics. One is quantitative metrics, QNM. Another one is qualitative metrics. Quantitative metrics means the figures, the data. How many students are there? What is the percentage? How many free ships or scholarships that your college is going to get? All this comes under the quantitative metrics, QNMs. And those, some are, you will have to write in descriptive manner. They will comes under qualitative metrics, that is QLMS. So the SSR contains both quantitative and qualitative metrics. Especially the quantitative metrics cover up to 70%, and the remaining 30% will be covered by the qualitative metrics. So the data submitted on quantitative metrics, we know very well that will be subjected to validation exercise with the help of DVV, data validation and verification process. The responses regarding the qualitative metrics are reviewed by the peer team on site only after the institution clears the pre-qualifier stage. And we have a very good important metric, that is student satisfaction survey. As soon as the DVM SSR is submitted, the SSR will be sent after the pre-qualifier. It will be sent to the DVB process. At the same time, it will be the SSS, SSS will be automatically, the work will be started. Especially regarding the SSS, we will have to upload at least 50% of the currently enrolled students. And the SSS contains 21 questions, 20 objective and 1 subjective. All are mailed to the individual students. So for autonomous or PG or UG colleges, the responses should be received from at least 10% of the student population or 100, whichever is lesser. For universities, 10% of the student population or 500, whichever is lesser. A very important point, if the response rate is lower than the limits mentioned by NAAC, the metric will not be taken up for evaluation. So this is a very important metric. It carries about 60 marks. So it is very easy to get maximum marks in SSS if you can follow the guidelines strictly. And we know very well, the NAAC are giving 8 grades. Just for your information, I am giving. So most of our colleges, our government colleges may be like B, B+, B++, A, etc. These are the various CGPA, 1.51 to 2, that is C grade, 2.01 to 2.50, B grade, 2.51 to 2.75, B+, 2.76 to 3, B++, 3.01 to 3.25, you will get A grade, 3.26 to 3.50, A+, from 3.51 to 4, you will get the A++. So this is the preparation before or during after the A and A process. Institutional information for quality assessment, IIQA, SSR submission, and optional metric selection is only for universities and autonomous colleges, and we need not worry about the optional metrics for government degree colleges. Data validation and verification, brief qualification, peer team visit, and assessment outcome. So, institutional information for quality assessment. You see, what are the documents that should be submitted for IIQA? SRA, Statutory Regulator Authority. This is only for engineering colleges like that. Degree colleges, there is no need for that. University affiliation, CFA means current academic year. ICI survey certificate, self-declaration by the principal, student count current academic year, and faculty count current academic year. After submission of the IIQA, you will get an answer from NAAC office after 15 days, whether it is accepted or rejected with queries. If it is rejected, again, you can submit only 2 times in the one academic year with the same fees. Or if you are having any queries, if you can give answers for that queries, then it will be given okay for submission of SSR. Then coming to this one, so already the current academic year CAY, Statutory Regulatory Authority like AICTE for engineering colleges. We know very well All India Survey on Higher Education. So IIQA, after submission, the institution will be informed within 15 days whether it is accepted or rejected. If it is rejected, 2 more consecutive times with the same fees in a year. So after the acceptance of IIQA, we will have to submit the self-study report within or 45 days. We know very well the SSR comprises of profile of the institution, extended profile, and QNMs and QLMs, executive summary. Then the important points here, how to prepare to submit an SSR. So go through the NAAC manual and guidelines thoroughly. The second point, understanding of metrics. This is a very, very important point. Understanding of the metrics. Because the same data, if you can understand it very well, you can submit the same data with little changes in one or more criteria. For example, I will give an example like this. Our students are going for community service project. In that community service project, the first week is socio-economic survey, and the second week the students will take the awareness programs in their concerned villages or hamlets. And again, they are having a logbook, they are having a separate project altogether, that is a CSP project. If you can take the first part or first week socio-economic survey and awareness program, and they are put together, and they will make it, both of those two matter will be used in extension activities in the third criteria, and this CSP project in the first criteria. So like that, understanding of metrics is very, very important. The same material, the same data, with a little changes, we can even apply to some other criteria. Data submission, both quantitative and qualitative metrics. Upload the relevant documents. Then selection of non-applicable metrics that is not concerned for our degree colleges. And refer standard operating procedure, which is helpful in submission of DBV clarification. So QNMs of SSR will be sent for DBV process except the SSS. So this is a diagrammatical representation. This is the DBV process. In case of deviation, clarification will be sorted out from higher education institutions. If you are getting 30% of system generated score, you will be passed. If you are not getting this 30% of marks, your IIQA or your SSR is free. So there is another chance is there. If you are getting 30% marks, but the uploaded data is found to be incorrect, without any inquiry, the NAAC people will impose a penalty. That penalty is also a large amount. So penalty pass. You must be very careful in uploading the data. We cannot manipulate as we like. Recently, in our Andhra Pradesh, 2 colleges, they have get through the penalty pass. I don't want to disclose their names. So if the data is not found correct, depending upon their discretionary power of the NAAC, they can even put our college in the blacklist. Especially in Andhra Pradesh and as well as Telangana, one engineering college is placed in the block list. So we must be very careful in uploading the data to NAAC. It's a very important point. So The pre-qualifier 30% QNM. If it is passed, the P team will come to our college. If it is failed, we'll have to apply afresh with IAQA and its fees after 6 months. So these are the fee structure. Please, these are the fee structure after April 1, 2023. IAQA submission fees for autonomous and affiliated colleges, 29,500 rupees, including GST. SSR submission for first phase, 1,18,000. SSR submission fees for second phase, 1,18,000. Logistic fees, 2,36,000. This is used for peer team, for their boarding and lodging, everything that will be completed within 2,36,000. If it is more than that, again the NAAC office will ask us to pay the fees from the colleges. And appeal fees. Suppose we are expecting a grade, after the peer team is coming and they go back to their NAAC office, they have given a grade. Sometimes that grade is not correct. If we feel the grade is not up to the mark, we may challenge. And that case also, you will have to pay 1,18,000 rupees. That is within 10 days of the result published. So this is about the fee structure. So the penalty fees is also 1,18,000. So we must be very careful about the uploading of the data. Then this is in a nutshell, this is also the DBB process, how diagrammatical representation, IAQA we have submitted. If it is accepted, within 45 days, SSR is submitted. And after the submission of SSR, the DBB process will go on, and frivolous program is also goes on simultaneously. After the pre-qualifier, then the peer team will come. The DBB process 70%, and peer team will attend our college and will visit our college after within 90 days after the clearance is over. So it is 30% and 70% altogether. You will get the grade like this. Then these are the various criteria in universities, autonomous colleges, and affiliated colleges. Altogether, we have 7 criteria in all these 3 institutions. 34 key indicators for universities, 34 key indicators for autonomous colleges, and for affiliated colleges, we have 32 key indicators. Qualitative metrics QLMs for universities 32, for autonomous colleges 35, for degree colleges, the qualitative metrics are 22 only. Quantitative metrics for universities 55, for autonomous colleges 50, and for affiliated colleges they are 34. So altogether for universities we have 87 metrics, for autonomous colleges 85 metrics, for our degree colleges they are 56. So 7 criteria, 32 key indicators, 22 QLMs, 34 QNMs. Altogether, you will have to give respond for 56 metrics. And next, these are the 7 criteria. You know very well, curricular aspects for affiliated colleges 100, teaching, learning, evaluation 350, research, innovation and extension 110, infrastructure and learning resources 100, student support and progression 140, governance and leadership management 100, institutional and best practices 100. So altogether 1000 marks. For the universities, the research and extension activities is 250. Thank God, our affiliated colleges is having only 110, because previously it was also equal to the autonomous colleges. Because in our degree colleges, we will have our lecturers will take 18 to 24 hours, or even in a single college, in a single subject, single teachers are there, they will take more than 30 hours also. So in that situation, it is not possible to carry out the research work. Therefore, NAAC revised that point and it is reduced to only 110 marks. And these are the different criterions, different QLMs and QNMs. We will have a broader idea on this, then only it is easy to understand and easy to submit the SSR. So in the curricular aspects, we have 2 QLMs, 4 QNMs, altogether 100 marks. Teaching learning evaluation, 4 QLMs, 7 QNMs, 350 marks. Research innovation and extension, 3 QLMs, 6 QNMs, total 110 marks. Infrastructure learning resources, 3 QLMs, 3 QNMs, 100 marks. Student support and progression, 1 QLM, 8 QNMs, 140. Governance and leadership and management, 5 QLMs, 4 QNMs, total 100 marks. Institutional values and best practices, 4 QLMs, 2 QNMs. Altogether, 22 qualitative metrics, 34 quantitative metrics. The 22 qualitative metrics will carry 379 marks. That means the peer team will award 379 marks only. The whole marks goes to the 34 quantitative metrics, which carries 70%, that is 621 marks. So 56 metrics, 32 key aspects. So these are the various key indicators: curriculum planning and implementation, academic flexibility, curriculum enrichment. That means there are 4 key indicators in first criteria, and 2 QLMs and 4 QNMs. In the second criteria, we have 7 key indicators like student enrollment profile, student satisfaction survey, etc. In third criteria, we have 5 key indicators. In fourth criteria, we have 4 key indicators. In fifth criteria, we have 4 key indicators. And sixth criteria, we have 5 key indicators. And in seventh criteria, we have 3 key indicators. So finally, 22, 34, and 7, and 32 key indicators. So this is in nutshell how many marks in curricular aspects: 4 key indicators, 4 QNMs, 2 QLMs, total 6 metrics. Teaching, learning, and evaluation, there are 7 key indicators, 7 QNMs, 4 QLMs, 11 total metrics. Research and innovation, we have 5 key indicators, 6 QNMs, 3 QNMs, and total 9. Fourth criteria, infrastructure and learning resources, we have 4 key indicators, 3 QNMs, and 3 QLMs. Altogether, 6 metrics are here. In fifth one, there are 4 key indicators, 8 QNMs, and 1 QLM, total 9 metrics. And in seventh criteria, we have 3 key indicators, 2 QLMs, 2 QNMs, 4 QLMs, total 6 metrics. So this is, in a nutshell, how many key indicators, how many QNMs, how many QLMs, total 56. So this is the first criteria. Already the previous speakers clearly indicated about all these metrics, but because of the time, I'm having only half an hour time. Most probably I can extend my lecture more another 10 minutes. The organizers have given me like that. So within half an hour, I will have to conclude my session. Therefore, I will take a very few metrics in all the 7 criteria, and I will give you the practically possible methods to get good marks. So in the first criteria, in your screen, first of all, you have seen this 1.1.1. The institution ensures effective curriculum planning and delivery through a well-planned and documented process, including academic calendar and conduct of continuous internal assessment. It is a QLM. Usually, the university will give the academic calendar and we will follow the syllabus, and everything depends upon the concerned universities. For that, we will have to write 500 words, not less than minimum 300 words you will have to write. So you will get 20 marks in a very easy manner. So it's not that much difficult. So next one, number of add-on certificate, value-added programs, online courses, MOOCs, it carries about 15 marks. So previously, we don't have a proper idea how many certificate courses that we will have to conduct during 5 years. But now there is no problem for that. They have given a clear benchmarks for that. So if you can conduct 25 certificate or value-added programs for a period of 5 years, you will get a benchmark of 4. You please note that point. If you can complete more than 25 certificate service courses or value-added courses for a period of 5 years, you will get a benchmark 4. Suppose if you can carry only 15 to 25, the benchmark is 3. If you can carry only 20 to 35, 5 to 15, the benchmark is 2. 1 to 5 certificate courses or value-added courses, the benchmark is 1, and 0, less than 5. That means if you can get 4 benchmark, 4 into 15, you will get here 60 marks. And one more important point is, suppose for example, if you are conducting a tally program for BCom students, we are conducting a tally program certificate course for first year students, second year BCom students, and third year final year BCom students. But NAAC is considering the tally program or certificate course considered as only one certificate course. What we thought, even though the students are changing, first year, second year, final year, but now the NAAC team will consider the tally program, even though for 3 years, it is only a one certificate course. So we must be very careful. Don't repeat the same title. So that's, you must be very careful about that. So previously what we thought that is, even though the certificate, the name of certificate is course is same, but the continuously we are changing the students year by year. That will be counted as a one more certificate course, but not now. It is not counted like that. So we must be very careful about these courses. Then cross-cutting issues. So this is also a very important one. We know the cross-cutting issues are the topics that are identified as important and that affect and cut across most or all aspects of development. So these topics should be therefore be integrated and mainstreamed throughout all stages of development, from policy design to implementation, evaluation and learning. So the university has designed syllabus for the cross-cutting issues, and we are implementing those syllabi in our courses. The cross-cutting issues are nothing but the present problems like environmental issues, climate change, global warming, gender issues, human trafficking, sexual harassment, gender-based violences, security of women at working places, molestation of women. All these comes under cross-cutting issues. So, I want to give you a clear-cut idea, sir. Most of us have a doubt regarding what is an add-on course and what is a certificate course and what is a value-added course. Because number of add-on / certificate / value-added. Most of the time you may have some confusion. So, certificate course or add-on course are the courses where the students learn an additional subject apart from their main course. This is a very important one. That should not be included in our curriculum. That is an additional subject. For example, I'm a chemistry man, so I can say water quality parameters or water analysis. That is not included in our regular curriculum. Therefore, water analysis or water quality parameters is a certificate course, which you know very well, a minimum of 30 hours. You should have a circular, you should have a registration form, you should have an attendance, you should have a clear-cut syllabus and a model paper, and a regular timetable for the lecturers who are taking the certificate course classes, and daily attendance and signatures from the students or any other material, all to put together means a certificate course 5. If you are missing any one of these, that may be rejected. So we must be very careful in filing, in a documentation. And value-added courses, they are the part of the curriculum designed to provide necessary skills to increase the employability quotient and equipping the students with essential skills to succeed in the life. So, value add, that means it should be in the curriculum. For example, we are having a practical class like pipetting or volumetric or something like that. If volumetric analysis or pipette out or some instruments, usage of the instrument, if you are giving extra, training for them, it will enhance their skills and it will be useful for them to get a job. So it should be in curriculum, and that is called the value added courses. So this is the cross-cutting issues. Usually our higher education and university authorities, they have already sorted out this type of syllabi. We are all implementing environmental sustainability, human values, professional ethics, either in the first year or second year or final year. If not in the curriculum, we can take it as a certificate course or value added or add-on course. Like that, we are all implementing in our syllabus, and we are conducting this, and therefore in cross-cutting issues we are going to get the full marks. And coming to the second criteria, so this is the enrollment percentage. It carries 20 marks, and student full-time teacher ratio. These are all depends upon our faculty and the provision by the CCE. If you are having more number of lecturers, you will get the full marks. Even the guest faculty is also taken as full-time teachers. Not only the regular, but also contract lecturers and guest lecturers also can be taken as full-time teachers. Then coming to the experiential learning, participative learning or problem-solving learning and ICT tools. So maximum our classroom, at least one department should have at least one projector for ICT classes. For LMS also, we should have at least one LMS studio. So for this, you are going to get 40 marks. And next, percentage of full-time teachers with PhDs or DNB or DSc LD literature. So if any lecturer is not possessing these degrees, ask them to register for PhDs, etc., etc. And this is student performance and learning outcomes. So this is also a new topic as far as program outcomes, course outcomes. Already our conveners is already told that Leela Mohan sir will going to take about these COs and POs. It is also a new topic. Most of our degree college lecturers may not aware of all these COs and POs, how to calculate COs and POs. If time permits, I will give a very little brief introduction regarding the COs and POs. So online satisfaction survey that carries 60 marks, it is very easy to obtain. So as far as the attainments are concerned, we are having 45 marks. So regarding COs, what do you mean by a CO? I will give you. We are having for each paper 5 units, and each unit should have 1 course outcome. Therefore, we are having 5 units, we should have 5 COs. So each unit carries 1 course outcome. And program outcomes may be around 6 to 10. For engineering colleges, that is a constant one. They are having 12 POs in general. But as far as our degree colleges are concerned, we are taking the program outcomes are 6 to 10 or 6 or 7 or 8. That depends upon. So what do you mean by this? So most of us, you know very well, course is nothing but a paper. Program is an MPC, is a BSc MPC is a program. BSc MPCS is a program. BSc BZC is a program. Like that, they are program outcomes. So here, CO or PO mapping. One of the participants has asked this question to the previous resource person. We are facing a very big problem regarding the mapping of COs and POs. The main problem is we are not conducting the internal examination in a proper manner. Each department will have its own pattern of evaluation of or method of asking questions. So we should be very careful. In order to conduct the internal examination, the college should have the same question paper pattern. Not various departments is having various type of question papers. One department is if they are putting 25 marks, and one department 30 marks, and one department 10 or 15 marks. That is not the pattern. So the college should have the same question paper pattern, and each unit carries equal weightage of marks. For example, the maximum marks for a first internal may be 25. The syllabus for the first internal exam should be 2.5 units. Make it a point, 2.5 units. First unit carries 10 marks, second unit carries 10 marks, and the half unit carries 5 marks. There are so many other ways are also there. I'm taking a simple example. The same pattern may be followed for the second internal examination. And the internal examination should have an internal choice, but not the total choice. Suppose if you are giving 4 questions, out of 4 you should write 2 questions. That is not the correct way. For first question, either that or this, or based on the Bloom's taxonomy. That means each and every student should attempt a question from each unit. Then only you can calculate the course outcome. Suppose if you have given 10 questions, you can ask to write 5 questions. The student may skip off any unit. Therefore, you cannot calculate the course outcome. So, even in internal examination, the students are expected to write or attempt at least 1 question from each unit. Then only we can calculate the course outcomes. Then the outcome-based education. So already one more resource person may be taken this class in total. The outcome-based education is a student-centric teaching and learning methodology in which course delivery, assessment are planned to achieve stated objectives and outcomes. It focuses on measuring student performance, that is outcomes at different levels. So course outcomes, what do you mean by a course outcomes? So course outcomes are what the student should be able to do at the end of the course. Suppose I'm a chemistry man, I will give an example for a chemistry lecturers. Suppose if you can take a nomenclature for inorganic chemistry. Suppose if there is a nomenclature, suppose there is a unit for nomenclature, after completing the nomenclature, the student is able to know after seeing the formula, this is methane or this is butane. After the completion of the nomenclature, if the student is not able to name the compound, organic compound, that means the course outcome is not, it is not attainment. The attainment of course outcome is 0. And at the same time, program outcomes. After completing the 3 or 4 years degree course, the student is expected to get some knowledge, skills, attitude. We are expecting something. Suppose a BCom student, after completing the BCom, he is expected to know at least what is the balance sheet. After completing the degree, he doesn't know what is the balance sheet. That means he has not achieved the program outcome. And again, the program specific outcomes. In certain courses, some medical or MBBS courses, I'm giving example like this. Suppose an MBBS doctor is, concerned with all organs. Specific outcome means if an eye doctor must be known in depth about the eye. That is a specific outcome. Like that in our degree also, but now we are having a major system. After that, the student is expected to do a particular skill after completing your program. That is a program specific outcomes. So this is a very vast subject. It cannot be completed within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or even it will take at least 6 to 7 hours for how to map all these things. So there is a correlation. 3, 2, 1 is an indicators. 1 is a low, 2 is medium, 3 is a maximum. That means, what do you mean by 1? Or what do you mean by 3? Attainment 3 means 60% of the students scoring greater than 70% of the maximum marks allotted to CO. అంటే మన క్లాస్ లో ఆ ఎగ్జామ్ కి 60% of the students are attaining more than 70%. That is attainment 3. That means the COs and POs are well mapped. Attainment 2, only 50% of the students scoring greater than 70% of the maximum score allocated to CO, then attainment 2. And attainment 1 means only 40% of the students scoring greater than 70% of the marks allocated to CO, that is attainment 1. Attainment 0, less than 40% of students scoring greater than 70% of the maximum marks allocated to CO. So most probably we are getting an attainment of 2. So that means after that, if any number of students, percentage of students are not attaining the course outcomes, then we will set a remedial class for them and giving separate coaching. And finally, we are reaching to the highest attainment. So these are the various outcomes and course outcomes and program outcomes. We should have a formula. We can generate a formula, and it should have a separate class for COs and POs, which carries about 45 marks. Then I will move on to the next one. That is third criteria. Here also, we know very well, in our government colleges, there is no time to carry out the research work. So therefore, thank God, the NAAC people has given only 110 marks for affiliated colleges. Grants received from government and non-government agencies. Most of us may not get grants because after the pandemic, even the UGC and most of the funding agencies are not come forward to give raising the funds. So in that cases, we will have to collect or receive funds from NGOs. Otherwise, most of our colleges may get zero in this aspect. And the second one is also incubation center. A very few colleges, it's a QLM, a very few colleges are attaining incubation center, because in our degree colleges, we are having lacking of classrooms. So therefore, there is no room for this incubation center or something like that. Very few government colleges are having such a type of infrastructure. So in this case also, we may not get a good number of marks. So here, 3.3.1, number of papers published per teacher in the journals notified on UGC website. So here also, we are having 3 marks. So we must be very careful, because if there is no research.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
Please try to conclude the session.
Yeah, sir, definitely, sir. Definitely. If it is 5 o'clock, I will take only 1 hour, is it not?
Sure, sir.
So I have started by 4 o'clock.
Sure.
So I'm taking only 1 hour, 10 minutes, that's all. Okay.
Okay.
Definitely I'm going to conclude. Because yes, sir. No problem, sir.
Fine.
So as far as the number of journals, number of papers, if it is more than 10 papers for a period of 5 years, you will get a benchmark of 4. But it is not that much easy to get. So therefore, what my suggestion is, you please also collaborate with higher institutions, because it is not possible to carry out the research work in our limited facilities. So please collaborate with any universities or any other good colleges which are having, proper infrastructure. Then only we can have some good papers. And number of books and chapters edited in volumes, books published. In this case also, what my suggestion is, you can conduct a webinar or a seminar, and you can call for a papers, and you can easily obtain an ISBN number. If you can encourage our staff members, they can write the papers, and we, our college, on its own, we can publish a book which contains ISBN number, and therefore all our staff members will become the writers of the chapters. So in that way, also we can improve the marks in this particular metric. Then extension activities, it is 15 marks here. Already the CSP and projects are there. The CSP projects, you can already I told you in the beginning itself, the first 2 parts, if you can separate, that can be taken as a separate extension activity, because all our students are coming from different hamlets, different villages, and we can place the project names as an extension activity, and that can be placed here also. Then the number of MOUs. So here also, more than 20 MOUs, active MOUs, you will get a benchmark of 4. So active MOUs means, if you are having an MOU with an industry, at least one activity should be carried out between that industry and your college. That means Either some of your students may visit that industry, or some of the scientists from that industry may come and take in the guest lecture. At least one activity should be carried out between the institutions or the industries. Then only it should be counted as MOU, active MOU. So as my time is up, so therefore I am going to conclude within a fast within. So there is a difference, doubt between what do you mean by collaboration and what do you mean by linkage. Collaboration is in academics is usually thought to mean an equal partnership between two academic faculty members or institutions who are pursuing mutually interesting beneficial work. That is a collaboration. That means both the parties are having some profit. Linkages means the linkages promotes collaboration and partnership with other institutions of higher learning, corporate bodies, and other relevant organizations. So this is a very, very important one. So linkage means with higher learning bodies. So between two B grade colleges, that cannot be taken as a linkage. A linkage means an A grade college with an industry or with a A++ college, that becomes any linkage. Then fourth one, infrastructure. So that is depending upon the CC or the physical infrastructure which we acquired, that completely depends upon them. And maintenance. Then the percentage of placement of outgoing students. This is also 20 marks are there. It's a Q&M. Recently, I have gone through one DVV in which that college has given more than 100 placement orders in a local industry. That is also counted. Even some computer institutions, they have given the data operator. That is also they have counted. So don't worry about if multinational companies should come to our college and they should give the placement order. Not like that. Even a local industry also, we can manage with them and we can get the placement orders. So from this also, we can get the full marks regarding this. And as far as alumni is concerned, alumni should be registered. The body should be registered. We should conduct at least 2 meetings per academic year. The minutes of the meeting should be recorded and the action taken report should be discussed in the next meeting. And as far as medals are concerned, the events conducted within the college may not come under this metric. And the 6th criteria. So in the 6th criteria, the percentage of teachers provided with financial support to attend the conference. So please make it a point. At least how much amount you are giving, that is immaterial. At least you give a minimum amount of 200 rupees. Even though the registration fees may be 1,000 or 2,000, at least every year you should provide at least for 15 to 20 lecturers, you give 200 rupees per head. That is also a financial support. How much amount is not the criteria. How many members that the institution has given the financial support. And conducting of FDP programs. That is also a very important one. And internal quality assurance cell. Here also, the composition of the cell is very, very important. The previous speaker is also mentioned about this. In some colleges, they are having a IQAC cell, but they don't know. The lecturers are not knowing what their portfolio is. So there are a lot of examples are there. I don't have much time to discuss all those things. Therefore, I am simply skipping out because of the this one is the composition of IQAC. One chairperson head of the institution, a few senior administrative officer and one member from office, 3 to 8 teachers, 1 member from management, 1 or 2 nominees from local society, students and alumni, 1 or 2 nominees from employers, industrialists, stakeholders, one of the senior teacher as the coordinator and director of the IQAC. So these are the various e-governance. Already our APSHA and CCE are conducting so many apps. So in this metric also, we are going to get a very good marks. And gender equity, especially the women empowerment. Each and every college, we will have a gender and women empowerment cell. The programs conducted under women empowerment comes under gender equity. And already 7.1.2 is a QNM and audit. So the green audit, energy audit, clean and green campus initiative, beyond the campus environmental promotion activities. So usually for green and energy audit, you should have one internal committee and one external committee. Usually botany department will looking after the green audit and physics department will take care of the energy audit. The internal audit committee comprises principal, HOD of botany and IQAC coordinator. The external audit committee comprises of principal, HOD of botany and IQAC coordinator and an officer from agriculture, horticulture or forest department, not below the rank of budget officer. The same type of committees holds good for energy audit also. At least I'm an AE from electricity department for energy audit for external audit committee. So with this, I am just closing my session because of lack of time. So I want to give you a last 2 or 3 important lines. I joined in YVNR Government Degree College, Kaikaluru in the month of October 2021. At that time, our college is accredited with B+ grade only. Only one AQR is submitted at that time. Our IQAC coordinator joined along with me, submitted all the remaining AQARs. Dr. P. Paldivakar, Professor of Physics, Dr. R. Jalababu, Associate Professor of Chemistry, a dynamic IQAC coordinator, and a NAAC coordinator, along with the staff under the leadership of Dr. B. Raghunath Reddy, Principal, worked meticulously and finally accredited with A grade with CGPA 3.13 by NAAC Bangalore. In this junction, I would like to thank our Honorable Commissioner, Dr. Paula Bhaskar Garu, IAS, Dr. R. David Kumar Swami Garu, Joint Director, and Dr. Vijay Babu Garu, State NAAC Coordinator, the RJD, Sri Krishna Garu. They have given their constant, continuous support and encouragement in getting a good grade to our college. This is the success story of YVNR Government Degree College, Kaikaluru. Therefore, I proudly say, getting a good grade by a college is a team effort and nothing is impossible. With this, I'm thanking the organizers who have given me the opportunity to interact with you all. And I wish you all the best for the colleges who are going for accreditation. Thank you, one and all, for patient hearing, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Emmanuel, sir. And there are 2 queries.
Yeah.
One is from Dr. Paul Devakar, sir.
Yeah.
Paul Devakar, sir, you may unmute your device, sir.
No, sir, just I want to congratulate Dr. Emmanuel
Paul
only.
Devakar,
I have
sir.
raised my hand.
Sir, your device is unmuted. You may ask your question, sir.
So thank you very much, sir.
Sir, just to congratulate Dr. Emmanuel only, I have raised my
Paul
hand.
Devakar, sir, not audible.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening. I may be pardoned for taking multiple
Okay,
opportunities
sir,
to speak, but
Guru Pratap Reddy Garu, please ask your query.
yes, sir. Vinapatladandi.
My audio button 1 of 9. Hit list. Double tap.
Yes, Guru Pratap Reddy Garu,
1 of
we
9.
are hearing your voice.
Activate.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Actually, I could not resist the temptation of speaking once again after having listened to the marvelous speech of Dr. K. Emmanuel, who is
Information. Diana
my
Saxon.
very good old friend and former colleague. And some of the points
Dr.
I
Paul
was
Devakar, sir.
surprised they were missing
Unmute your
because
device.
he is such a kind of person that he does not want to project himself. If I remember correctly,
Fine, sir.
under
Is
his
there any
stewardship,
queries from
Broadcasting. Meeting unmuted.
remaining
Sorry?
participants? Okay. Thank you, Emmanuel, sir.
Making it a live decision.
Very good lively session from your side. On behalf of SSN College Management Committee, the President Sri Kapla Kumar Garu and Secretary and Correspondent and ex-Municipal Chairperson of NARASARAOPET, Sri NAAC Subrai Gupta Garu, and our college principal, Dr. S. Mallai Garu, and my friend and IPC coordinator, Dr. P. Srinivas Sai Garu. We're all giving a special thanks to Emmanuel, sir. You have given a wonderful session and a nice explanation also, sir. Very good session. Actually, today we have 4 sessions. 4 sessions are very, very excellent sessions.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And an appeal to participants. Sir, tomorrow also we have 4 sessions. First session starts by 10 o'clock sharp, which is led by Dr. K. Padmaja from Department of English, Government College, Women Autonomous, Guntur, followed by resource talk of Professor R. Venkatnath, sir, who is Research Coordinator, Geetham University, Bangalore. And his session starts by 11:30 morning and ends with 1 p.m. And followed by evening session, our Honorable JD Sir, Dr. R. David Kumar Swami Garu, Joint Director of our Collegiate Commission of AP. His class starts at 2:30. He will interact at 2:30. So, sir is having some busy work up to 2:30, sir. So, he will join by tomorrow evening 2:30. And at last, we have final session by Dr. S. Babu Rajendra Prasad Garu, who is from B.B. Siddhartha Arts and Science College, Vijayawada, sir. So, with these remarks, thank you for joining all the participants for today's program. Tomorrow, we will all meet by 10 o'clock sharp. Thank you. Thank you very much.